like filling out the tax forms, turning them in. I guess it's not 600 anymore. It's 2,000. Yeah.
I mean, this is not my expertise, but I guess the only thing that stand out to me would be second.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, I figure they're going to chop the top anyway. What I did this year, last year I told you I had to put money in. Like, if I didn't get the help from you last year and I didn't get the help from other people, there's no way I would have done it. And then I still put $5 grand out of my pocket. So I looked this year and I'm like, oh, I changed the 12.5 at first down to 10. I took the guarantee off the bottom for double. I talked to a couple guys last night and I said, I think it's going to be 4,450 on the bottom 6 places. One guy was a little upset, the other one goes, you shouldn't get paid at all. Bobby Rice said that. He goes, they shouldn't get paid at all. I said, I understand what you're saying. He goes, no, they shouldn't. You're paying 1 in 5. The last 6 wouldn't get a check at all. He goes, if I were you, I'd just give them all 3 inches of the I said, well, I like the idea, but I told people I'm paying them, so I'm not going to not pay them. So then I try to get it to do the same format as I did for the other ones all weekend. So double your money, triple your money, 5 times your money, 10 times your money, and making sure that I've got the house paid, getting you paid, getting your team paid. I said, as long as I leave here today and everyone's paid, even if I have no dollars, I'm out. So I figured the top 8 will probably chop that a little bit. Not that I want them to do that. I want to get back to the point where they go, oh, that's a great place. I don't need to chop it. But at least I can afford to pay off. I'll leave it with you.
Okay.
Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. We welcome you back to Western Bowl Strike and Spare here in Cincinnati, Ohio. The Cashers round for the Bradley Open officially underway here. 10:16 a.m. Eastern Time. We've got the top 30 bowlers on the lanes. They bowled their 6-game totals from last night, those who advanced. The top 30 advanced after last night's advancers round. They will bowl 6 additional games here this morning, and their 12-game totals will determine the top 8 players who will advance to the finals. The finals, of course, bracket match play style. They'll be, of course, later this afternoon, and really not too long after the Cashers round concludes, we'll more or less get right into it. But we got a long way to go, and we've got 8 players to determine. With that said, we get you underway here on 11 through 14. My name is Emil Williams Jr. Pleased to be here with you. Big thanks to our tournament director, Jason Utchwell, and his entire tournament staff. Deanna, Paul, Jason, Peaches, that is. There's 2 Jasons on this staff. Some cool storylines that we'll be following throughout the day. Of course, the leader coming into today, Jerry Mars. Jerry from the Chicagoland area runs a ton of tournaments in that area as well. He went plus 104 during last night's advancers round to take the lead, but it was Quentin Tillman, young freshman out of the University of Pikeville. He's a collegiate bowler. He had the lead for essentially the first 5 games until Jerry shot 257 in Game 6 to take the lead. But Quentin Tillman putting on a show last night. He was fun to watch. So a couple of interesting nuggets with respect to collegiate bowling. I mentioned Quinn Tillman, Josh Maslanich. He too a member of the Pikeville University squad. And Josh comes in tied for 7th with another collegiate bowler in Dawson Peterson, who went to, or sorry, is attending currently the University of Wisconsin-Whitewater, one of the top players in the nation. But that's not enough. There's more collegiate competition. Jack Conrad bowling pretty well. He goes to Purdue. And Jack is 16th currently. He enters the day in 16th. We were talking about youth last night with Daniel Ferris. Shout out to Daniel again for hanging out with me all day yesterday, or Saturday here at the Bradley. And really, any tournament of this magnitude generally is a full and jam-packed day, and I appreciate Daniel for hanging out. Unable to stay and be here today, but we will have, of course, our tournament director Jason Utchwell will be in the booth a little bit today. With that said, we were talking about the youth movement. I asked him, did he think it was the youngest field that he's seen in a while? He said yes, and a couple of players with plenty of experience who were watching in the chat also said yes. And talking about the collegiate world and the players I just mentioned certainly would give you that estimate. But it's not all youth. You have players, Brian Himmler, for example, Chief, hometown favorite. Al Runkle putting in work. Watch out for Al too, man. He got going last night. The smooth lefty. Other hometown favorite, Jeff Fair, is bowling this morning. He advanced to the Cashers round as well. Jeff is the only now past champion who has advanced to the Cashers round. He won in 2009. Okay. I wasn't sure if Jeff was going to stay on the gutter. He gave that a look in practice, and he spent some time trying to see if that might work out for him. And we'll see if that strategy will hold true. Didn't see a lot of that yesterday from any players, for that matter. Not just Jeff, but any players. And I'm unsure if he tried it certainly early on in practice. Yesterday we had a lot of talk about, surface, over-surfacing to some degrees as well for a lot of players. There was certainly a concerted effort to try to create a little area and use some surface during last night's practice. Watch out for, when we get to Jerry Morris, he actually starts on 3 and 4. And it looks like the players are crossing today with essentially players in their position group. So, for example, Jerry Morris, Quinn Tillman, and Josh Lewis start on 3 and 4. Then Darren Blumquist, Chad Roberts, Brady Adler start over on 5 and 6. Then you get to Josh Maslenich, Dawson Peterson, Mike Moore. They're on 7 and 8. And that's your top 8, for example. So you're traveling in 3s. And there is one pair with 2. Jeff Fair, left of your screen. A little left. Well, if you're okay with that lead today, which I don't see why you wouldn't be, that could be a good play. How long? Well, what did Chris Pollard just make? If you missed the advancers round, let's give you those standings if you need to take it back. Well, you guys are making some intriguing points in this chat already. Yeah, I look up and yeah, Josh Lewis is not here. Well, all right. What a, all right. What a way to start the day. But I had to get up and make sure that my eyes weren't deceiving me, that Josh is indeed not here. Okay. With that said, it'll just be Jerry and Quinn traveling together today. What I guess a little odd, a little auspicious start to the day, but it's a Sunday at a tournament. Not gonna lie, I was looking forward to. Good thing y'all told me that before, because last night I was like, I think I might take Josh as one of my picks to get to the final match. I'd have been on like FanDuel asking for a. Did I get my refund? He didn't play. Is this voided? With that said, we are moving or using 3 through 22 this morning, and so I have a good view of at least the scoring monitor just about of every pair. So if something is happening and I can't, or we can't see it on camera, I can see it actually with my eyes today, which is great. Over on 15 through 18, not a ton of strikes. However, Brett Miller with a good start down there. He's going double, split, triple, 9 spare. On 7 and 8. Looks like Dawson Peterson off to the best start over there. Front 4, open, 9 spare strike. When I went away, Jeff had just crossed over on the left lane and left a 6-pin. I come back. He's got a 3-bagger still in that same zone early. That one got up the boards immediately. Great shot. 2009 champion. Vinny. 13 and 14, Jack Conrad, James Grego, and Vince Gothard talked to Vince a little bit. Still active duty in the military. He just got back into bowling, he said, about 2 years ago. And largely in part where he was located. The nearest bowling center was about 90 minutes from him. So this is the time it was taken, or would have taken, for him to get out there and compete on a regular basis. How about that, right? Not bowling a lot, 2 years back into it in September of 2025. Come on, bowl at Bradley, you make the top 30. Brian Himmler next door on 9 and 10. He's hanging tough. He's got one open. Grego has had some really good moments. Trying to have some more here this morning, just this weekend, which started way back now Friday with singles in the afternoon. we're right now developing, of course, one of the hometown favorites right here, home in Cincinnati, Jeff Fair. A slow wheel. Good shot. He's got the slow wheel. From not the gutter. I would say he's about 1-2-ish. And this is that right to left we were talking about yesterday. And there were some players who were pointing the gutter, right? And so Jeff's angle, he is angled toward the pocket. So his ball is not going up one, right? He's not going up the hill. It's angled as it's moving down. As long as he doesn't pull it, or even if he does, right? You just gotta miss left enough to go Brooklyn with the good angle. That way you can bypass any types of splits, a split possibility. Much like the third frame when he left the 6-pin. Jack Conrad putting in work. We talked about Jack in the Open. Out of Purdue. I believe I heard him say he is a senior. He'll be graduating. He had a teammate also bowling with him this week too. Leonard Cook also over on 9 and 10 with Trevor Roberts. Trevor's going to be headed to Indianapolis also. He has a direct entry, so did not have to bowl the PTQ today. Oh, what a break. How about that? Well, there's a couple of players who can come out early in game one and put a little shake in here in the standings. There's a good one from Brian Himmler. Saw it shape nicely 2 down lane. This is good bowling here so far. And just looking ahead, I mean, Jeff might be the only person out there. This is one of those, like, when you believe in your own skill level and talent. Right, you feel like I can do this better than anybody else. And I'm going to do it because I'm great at it. Because what we're seeing from every other player is essentially a combination of what we've seen throughout qualifying, Desperado, advances round, more people certainly in the middle of the lane, anywhere really between 15 and 25. And that includes both left-handers and right-handers. You see what Jack Conrad is. He's left-handed. Young Collier. Got that one right. Meanwhile, Conrad able to get some carry, parlays that break in the 9th. And Mr. Conrad, who comes in today in 16th place. He is 50 pins back entering today. Ben de St. Jean, he actually led, he was the B squad leader, for the first after 5 games. So he has performed well throughout. All right, good spare. Collier, he nailed down his spot last night. With good buddy Brady Adler. Will Roberts get a break? Just the 7-pin there next door. Conrad. There it is. Jack came to play this morning. Might have to ask him what he ate for breakfast. I talked about Dawson Peterson's good start. He opened in the 8th, 9 spare in the 10th, and now strike on the fill. So he's going to shoot 200 even. Looking of Dawson Peterson. Grego with the spare. Strike put him at 190. Therein lies the subtle danger. That one really didn't look much different than some of the previous shots, but maybe a little right. Maybe he just missed it a hair. Good 3, tough ending in that game, but boy, how much caution now would we have, right? Put yourself in Jeff Fair's situation. You know you got some, at least it feels like you got some that maybe no one else has. And then that happens in the 10th frame. I feel like it might depend on obviously the mindset, even the level of the player, right? All right, Vinny's going to finish up here. Then next door, we have Mr. Himmler with a fill shot left. He can get to 182. Brett Miller, I believe, did shoot 213. And Jeff Fair making his way all the way down to 17 and 18. So we'll be able to keep up with his progress. Just achieve his fill shot. All right, so folks, what are we thinking here? It's interesting that for a minute, right? Jeff Fair thought he was going to have the high game, but that honor belongs to Jack Conrad. Remember, too, the goal here, right? You don't have to be the leader. It helps. You just need to be in the top 8. And then essentially another tournament begins. And that is the bracket finals. Good to see you. I'm good. And Al Runkle over there finishing up. Go to 15 and 16. Chris Pollard, Al Runkle, and Albert Liggins. 15 and 16 to start. Runkle on the left side of your screen. We talked about last night's spares with really multi-pin spares and clusters and double wood and etc. We've seen several games now from multiple players, game one and really throughout the tournament, as Jeff Fair gets started next door. Seeing if his look is still decent on that particular pair. But, you know, 9 frames clean, and then that 10th frame is a little bit of the old bugaboo. One more shot remains, and we'll get to the official start of game 2. Let's go next door. We'll see Dawson Peterson check in here with Dawson. We've got Josh Maslanich, Mike Moore. We got Quinn Tillman and Jerry Mars on 9 and 10. So we'll take a look at our 1-2 duo coming into the tournament this morning, or into the cashers round. Yeah, you know, we talked about that yesterday. Daniel was very specific with respect to game 2 and the move, that first time move from game 1 to game 2, when you obviously have the time and on your practice, or your starting pair to practice. And, you know, especially when I didn't see anyone else as far right as Jeff. Mike Moore might be second furthest right at this point. Check in on the leader coming into this thing. Right side of your screen. And Jerry in the same zone he was last night. Felt like he carried that more last night, though. There's Will. Will was in a roll-off last night for the final, or one of the 2 final spots. It was a tie for 29th, effectively. 3-way tie, in fact. Jerry and Quinn kind of taking a tournament style, and that makes sense, match play style. Keep their pace at a similar rate to the group, certainly with 3. High flush. Good spare from Adler. The wave to the right on that one. Next door to Quinn Tillman. So I mentioned Pikeville. So we've got Quinn Tillman, freshman out of Claremont, Florida, went to Lake Minneola High School. Josh Maslanich, the junior from North Royalton, Ohio. And North Royalton, for those familiar with the state, it's about 235 miles from where we are currently. Oh, carry that. Mr. Blomquist with the break you got to take advantage of. Speaking of breaks, there's another one. Maslanich this time the beneficiary. He's got a double. Right now, getting 11 through 14, essentially top of your screen. 15 through 18, bottom right of your screen, with Brian Himmler, Leonard Cook down there. Jeff Fair started 9 spare, strike 9 spare. Again, we'll check in on his progress full screen in a little bit. He did make a ball change, though. As an FYI, he did make a ball change. Chad Roberts. And Darren Blomquist, Brady Adler. A question with respect to the lane condition. That is my favorite question for this tournament in particular, and it's just simply the Bradley. Good shot. That one was firm and online. And for some players have been able to take advantage of that. I think Jerry Mars is just a little further left than what Darren just did. Darren fired that thing probably about 16-ish. We got more live bowling on today, too, by the way. PBA show on the CW. Unsure of the exact time. First open there for Mike. He went front 3. That head pin a little stingy. Trying to take out the 10 pin. All right, so we do have scores. I do see Eugene. There he is. He made the walk down. He was on the high end. Eugene is now on 3 and 4. And 2-11. Game 1 for Eugene. Jerry Mars still the leader at 202. I was just having a conversation last night about aging. And now, I'm going to put these glasses on. So Eugene shoots 211. My apologies on that, Brandon. So Gene now he's 50 back of the number with 5 to go. Jerry Mars 202, 1506. Again, the only bullet to go 100 over yesterday or last night. Quinn Tillman 190. He's still in second. Chad Roberts has moved up. He shot 211. He's now in third at plus 16. A couple of individuals have acknowledged what just took place, unfortunately, there for Darren. Dawson Peterson, even 200 game 1. He is minus 11. Jack Conrad, big 247. He catapults from 16th to 5th. Speaking of Conrad, now at minus 14. Josh Maslanich is in 6th. He is minus 15. He shot 196. Darren Blomquist, 167. To fall backwards a little bit, now at minus 19. And Jeff Ferris, 226, moves him to 8th place. Jeff at minus 33. Brady Adler is now 9th, 5 pins back of the number. Mike Moore, 10th, 16 back of the number. Trevor Roberts, 11th, 21 back. So we had a couple of people who unable to be here this morning. Many of you mentioned Josh bowling the PTQ today. Richie Capadia, Austin Kohler also not in attendance. Thank you, Brandon. 4 p.m. Eastern time or I'm assuming that's 4 p.m. Eastern. Ten shows in a row, 4 p.m. Eastern, 3 Central. Let me put this on the screen real quick for you. You can see those standings. Cashers round link coming your way also. We might just be getting done. Possibly by the time that show airs today. we'll look at Chad. I'll throw the standings up here on the screen, and then we'll check in on 15 through 18. The other strings that I do see, actually one of them right now is on 15 and 16. All right, so Chad putting in work here. So is Brady Adler. All right, scores. Peterson spare. Scores on the left, and then Trevor Roberts. Triple, 9 spare, double. And now full screen to that group. Good morning to all, 11 o'clock Eastern. Cashers round began about an hour ago. We are now halfway through game 2. 6 games. Brandon asked about Eugene. He's now got a double here on 5 and 6. Bowling with, looks like Nolan White. And Blake Heil. Picture in picture there, that's Adler. He is looking for a 4-bagger and nearly left a 4-9. Rago, you saw him in the right corner of your screen. He's now on 19 and 20. The Chief. Jerry Mars is headed over to 17 and 18 with Quinn Tillman. They step away from camera momentarily, and then they'll be back at it. Games 5 and 6, 7 through, or lane 7, and then lanes 7 and 8, and 15 and 16. Right now, I'm looking at these standings. Obviously, Jeff Fair. Making his move. Fair went from 15th to 8th. And I mentioned Jack Conrad going from 16th to 5th in the first game this morning. But man, there are so many people. Mike Moore, 16 back. I mentioned Brady Adler, 5 back. Trevor Roberts, 21 back. Brian Himmler's 42 back. Brett Miller, 45 back. James Grego, 46 back. And Eugene Beeks is 50 back. Plenty of time still for everyone. You can actually go down. Shoot, man, Will Vidulich is 96 back. You know, Nolan White's got plenty of game. Trevor Roberts can be in the top 8 after this game. As you enter, if you haven't subscribed already to Bowl Stream TV, I encourage you to do that. We appreciate it. hit that thumbs up on this vid. Again, the finals this afternoon. Good shot there from Adler. So Brady with a couple frames left. Right now pacing in the 2 teens is Adler. Chad Roberts spare in the 8th. He too now, or he is pacing, I should say, in the 220s. Still got 240 left. All right, Gimler makes a ball change, trying to get something going here. Reed Church nearly made. How about that? Tillman and Jerry Mars, you know, both solid games so far. Mars about to enter the 9th and the 10th. All right, so Chad Roberts playing them very similar to how he started playing the lanes last night. So we talked about Jeff Fair. Chad is in that zone. He's a little, maybe about a couple boards left of what we saw Jeff Fair on 11 and 12. So a couple of big 9th and 10th frame opportunities. Well, Collier trying to get to 190. Right, he's gonna need all 3 in the 10th to do that. That was a good shot there, and he 4 pins. So spare strike gets him to 180. Ben D. St. Jean. Gonna take care of this cluster to get him in the 180s. Jerry able to carry the 4-5-7 next door. He's in the 2 teens and he's going to be clean. Adler just struck in the 9th on 11 and 12. Now 240 is in play for Brady Adler. All right, let's get Jerry here. There it is. Jerry Mars going to be in the 220s. Blomquist just went high flush, and yeah, he missed the makeable, of course, in the 5th, but that was a huge strike. Saves 2-0 for him. Jeff Fair. A little bit of a different game here in game 1. Big shot there, first one in the 10th. One more puts him in the 2-0s. Let's go full screen to Chad Roberts. Oh. Wow. Well, he's got to make that, of course, for 220. Adler still with 240 plus. Maslanich, spare puts him in the 190s. Trevor Roberts, 124. Maslanich, 124. That's made. See if Blomquist can double here. All right, spare to 205. Roberts did make his spare. Jeff Fair, 9 on the second shot. And the 10th spare gets him to 192. Quinn Tillman next door just left a 310. You know, for Jerry and Quinn, Chad. Yep. This has got to stay out of trouble, and obviously that's the statement that it's almost impossible to stay out of trouble at the Bradley. You just try to minimize the trouble spots. Trouble's going to find you, just hopefully not that many times in 6 games. All right, so Jeff did finish with 191. Trevor Roberts, 211. Quinn, from the back. 3-pin off the back curtain into the 10. He'll take care of that. And now he's going to the back to look like maybe try a different piece of equipment. Big shot here for Adler. Hi, Chad Roberts. Chad is a sneaky tall guy. What a break. That's a solid 190. Both of those players were clean. Jerry with a clean 223. Tillman with a clean 190. Great analogy, Brad, with 240 feeling like 279, which is why I thought, if Jeff Fair actually did end up shooting 270 game 1, I mean, that would have felt like 350. Robbie Oakleaf, Daniel told me a lot about him yesterday. He should be making his way. He's going to be on 15 and 16 coming up here. Brian Himmler. $1.69 for Brian. Mike Moore. He's got a chance. So many 4-pins this weekend. Nice game from Adler, 236. Intrigue starts to build a little bit. 205, 236, 212. 11 and 12. All 3 players handling their business there. And those individuals came into this morning 4th, 5th, and 6th, respectively. And they showed you exactly why in game number 2. Oh, Jack said, no, hold on. We're going to start that over. Brandon asked about Eugene. I think he did shoot 187. 1 open, 187. It's been a lot of those types of games. The 1 open, 190. 1 open, 180. And obviously, of course, depending on the open, we've seen some really good games already this morning, and the unfortunate opens in the 10th frame. All right, Mr. Mars gets us started. It's a good cosign there by Mr. Linville, another player who represented Pikeville this weekend and represented very well. Out of Lexington, Kentucky. Pikeville unofficially, and this is just the names that I know for sure, right? Ramos bowled. Josh is still bowling. Quinn is still bowling. Andrew Robitaille bowled. Andrew Allen bowled. And I feel like there might be one or two that I missed. So good luck to the squad, first of all, as a team for sectionals, because that's upcoming. All right, so the Brett Miller update. Didn't get to see game 2 score. Those should be updated, though, pretty soon. And he is right now starting the bottom right of our screen. Fair made his way down to 5 and 6. Jeff is maybe in ball 3 of the day already. I tell you, it looks like he's committed to, at least early on, committed to playing out. Well, you might anticipate a roll-off happening for the 8th spot today. And the reason for that is because we had a roll-off for 50th at the end of B squad qualifying. Then we had a roll-off last night, 3-way tie for what effectively at the time was 29th, basically 29th and 30th. So the last 2 cut opportunities, well, 2 out of the 3. Have to include the Desperado in that. So 2 out of the last 3 opportunities with a cut, we've had a roll-off. If I'm in the building, there's a significant chance of a roll-off. It's proven. I have receipts. Well, that's a good note. Okay. Blake fresh out of Pikeville. Tony Harvey has moved down to 11 and 12. Tony had a good game the last time, actually. He was on 11 and 12 last night. Caught a couple of good breaks and then put together some good shots to end that game and ultimately helped him advance to today. So in the end, we end up having, looks like everyone is not done with game 3, or game 2. 19 and 20 finishing up. Got a chance to catch up with Jerry as well last night, to your comment. Brand, first of all, great dude. I talked about him as he runs a lot of tournaments in the Chicagoland area. So typically, people post, hey, is there anything bowl and on this weekend or this date in the Chicagoland area? But last night he told me he was bowling the Winter Classic with the Greater Iowa Bowling Association. And Joe Engelkist does a great job running those events, and he thought he had bowled better certainly than the scores showed, and then seemed like he might have been working his way into some injuries. Decided to, hey, let's just rest up. Got the Bradley, and at the time, what was I guess about a week? Yeah, a week. And now here he is. Sometimes rest and recovery can do wonders. I think our question right now is, which player or players, and I'll take the take some cues from our viewers. Which player or players, you know, right now, like out of the top 8, who will end up in the top 8 when it's all said and done here in a couple of hours? Brady Adler would be a good choice for that, certainly. Same thing with Trevor Roberts. Eugene's look is pretty solid over on 13 and 14. He's now at 211, 187. You know, Jeff Fair put in the work early in game 1. So did Jack Conrad. Now, can they maintain their spots in the top 8? You know, looking at this top 8 right now after game 1 and just looking at their ball reaction, at least their looks, and they all seem to have a very good idea. And not only that, but their execution seems to be very good so far, too. Especially Jeff Fair, considering where he's playing. Jason Peach is out now, grabbing score, so we'll have that update on Tournament Bowl here in just a few minutes. Crowd has filed in nicely here this morning as we work our way toward the afternoon here in the Queen City. I haven't had much time for chili. I might have to get some on the way home. See if we can catch a glimpse of Jeff from this angle. You might enter the right of your screen there. Yeah, left of your screen, I beg your pardon. Good shot. Looks like an Equinox solid for Jeff Fair. I think he started with an Ion Max. I don't know what ball he switched to, but he was throwing a different ball when he made the trip down to 19 and 20, or 17 and 18. Got to give a shout out to Nick Arvin, who, speaking of Equinox solids, he had one that had some chalk on it, and he was just about to put it back in his bag. I was able to snag a photo of it. One of the cool stories right now, though, is Jack Conrad, two-handed lefty, essentially falling it back as a lefty. That's a great story, Brandon. I like the vote for Chris. We were talking about gutter players yesterday, and you know, Daniel So if anybody can get something going on the gutter, certainly is Chris Pollard. I saw a little bit of that yesterday. Talked to him just briefly. I saw him with his Ziploc bag of Aberlon pads. I asked him where he got those from. One of them was from one of the sponsors of this tournament, CTD, Creating the Difference, True Cut. Sponsors also, of course, McCorvey's Bowling World, Pro Shop right here. Shout out to Johnny Rogers in the shop. Of course, QubicaAMF, the Strike and Spare brand, your bowling consultant. And all proud sponsors here at the Bradley Open. We got that little bit of lull because we got a couple of duos, right? And they're taking their time as they should, bowling the match play style with 2 on a pair. So we'll take a look full screen now at 11 through 14. Had some questions about Brett. There is Brett. Still got an opportunity to be clean. Let me do the old refresh here. I told you Josh was entering scores, and he's got one more. One more left. And I'll refresh again, and while we do that, we welcome in the tournament director on another Sunday at the Bradley. Jason Utchwald is here. And first of all, Jason, good morning.
Morning.
It's almost time.
Yeah.
Crown another champion.
Yeah.
Does it ever get old?
Nah, not yet. I think if it gets old, it's a time for me to step back. So.
That was the best answer you could give right there.
Yeah, yeah. Yeah, still an opportunity to crown a repeat champion as well. No, not back-to-back, but Jeff won it in 2009, so there's still a former champion in the field, but I think he's got a little way to go. I think he moved up a little bit.
Oh, yeah. He went from 15th to 8th after game 1. With let me refresh Mike Moore's score. All right, Mike's score is in, and now Jeff is right on the outside again. He's 15 pins back. Jerry Mars just continues to attack. Still leading the way at plus 129. Quinn Tillman still second. 190, 190 for Quinn. He's 39 over. Chad Roberts third. 28 over. Brady Adler now goes from 9th to 4th. He is 2 under. Tie for 5th. By the way, I'm just letting you know, I've already called the tie for the 8th spot today. Just letting you know. We got a tie for 5th. Darren Blomquist and Jack Conrad at minus 14. Josh Maslanich 7th at minus 20. Dawson Peterson 8th right now at minus 27. All right, so minus 27 is 8th after game 2.
I'll remind the bowlers that you put it out in the air about a tie.
I just told them.
I mean, we've had loads of them this weekend already.
That's my based opinion. That's what I based it on. And
expert opinion?
Well, to some degree, yes, because it seems like when I'm around, ties happen a lot. I go to a lot of events, even on tour, and we get our fair share of roll-offs there as well.
We've had quite a few this weekend. Quite a few this weekend. That 3-person tie for the last spot last night was definitely interesting. I don't know if we've had one of those before. Yeah, like I said, in all that time running the event, I don't know if I ever remember a 3-person tie for 2 to get in and 1 to drop out.
Yeah, normally, well, even in the roll-off for 50th, that was a 2-way tie for the final spot.
Yeah.
Had last night just been a 2-way tie for 29th, you wouldn't have had to have a roll-off, of course. But we had 3. And it's happening here, and the reason I say that again is because there's a tie for 10th currently in the standings with Trevor Roberts and Mike Moore. and they are both 16 pins back of 8th. Brett Miller has gone 213, 216 for those who have been asking. So Brett's making the slow climb.
Long time to go as well. You know, 4 more games on this, and either having one big game or, on an unfortunate side, one bad game or one bad pair, and could make a huge difference.
Brett was one of the first people I actually saw on Friday. He came in for the Fairchild single shootout. All right, so we're about halfway home in game 3. And I look around, couple of decent starts, but you know, not much, not as many as we saw in the fresh.
Yeah, Jerry's still looking pretty good over there as well, though. I think what's that, 17 and 18?
Yeah, he's he and Quinn both.
Yeah.
Quinn now with a couple of splits here this game. They both had clean games in game 2, although Jerry shot 223.
Yeah, he's clean so far there too. First 3 9 spare, strike 9 spare double.
So tell me if you know, and you probably do, a little bit more about our Pikeville crew. Yeah, Mr. Linville, he's been updating me on some of the players who also bowled that I didn't know from Pikeville. Tell me Blake graduated recently from Pikeville. Did they just give you a call and say, Jason, the entire Pikeville men's team is going to come bowl with Bradley?
Yeah, I didn't have that. I didn't have that call with Andrew, their head coach. So you know, I'm just appreciative that they came up and bowled. They're a great group on the guys and girls side. So you know, anytime that they have an opportunity to come out and bowl, they always compete well. And I'm really not surprised to see some of the guys here this morning. You know, you see a lot more of the college stuff even than I do, and the stuff that they bowl on and some of the patterns probably prepares them pretty well for this, even though it's not something I'd say they'd see on a regular basis.
I would hope not.
I'd hope not as well.
Although if I was a tournament director, well, you know, when you get to the Hoosier, Nick can make it. It wouldn't ever shock me if one day, you know, it wouldn't be this pattern, obviously.
Yeah.
But it wouldn't shock me if something like it showed up on the final day of the Hoosier.
Yeah.
That wouldn't shock me at all. But
I mean,
without question, though, spare shooting, you know, keeping your angles.
For my personality and humor, I'd love to see something difficult like that at the end just to see the reaction from people. But
well, I think this year's was a got a lot of reaction too.
Yeah. You know, I was fortunate to be there and watch the girls team go all the way to the final. You know, they came up a little bit short, but they bowled super well, got there. You know, for a lot of people that don't watch college like you and I do, they technically won the tournament but didn't. I guess is the best way to put it.
They led qualifying.
Yep.
So got them first place power points.
Yep.
And then they came up short in the bracket aspect of the term.
Yeah.
Which is what allows you to get your team to decorate a masking unit.
Yep.
Which has become a cool tradition at the Hoosier.
Yeah, you kind of immortalize your team there.
Well, 7 and 8 is looking like a sneaky good pair for this game and the group that's currently on it. Way down on 3 and 4, though. I think Trevor Roberts is continuing to build a little bit of momentum.
Yeah, he's on what, 3 in a row there? Looks like.
Yeah, Trevor, Leonard, and Brian Himmler down there. It looks like Leonard Cook will be putting together a nice game, possibly. That's either him or actually that might be Brian Himmler.
And Quinn and Jerry still are plugging along over there.
I mean, they're obviously playing from the best position possible.
Yeah, I mean, Jerry goes spare account here, and he's in the 2 teens, and Quinn with one more would be about the same. Yep. So they're both over 200 this game.
Pretty impressive. Yesterday I said Quinn hit. Daniel and I have been talking about two-handed players, and you know, from the youth aspect, and the tendency sometimes for two-handed players to just kind of want to grip it and rip it.
Yeah.
You know, especially early on when they're learning the style. And I don't know anything about Quinn until I've obviously seen him this weekend. But he is just so in control and soft at the bottom.
Yeah. Yeah, super smooth.
And control is in, like, there's no muscle. It's just, you know, for a two-handed player, he is beyond smooth. He's got a glide.
Yeah.
To the foul line, which to me is very impressive. At this age.
I think if I'm not mistaken, we went obviously to the Mid-South Conference championships to watch the teams bowl, and I am pretty sure if I'm not mistaken, Quinn shot 300 there.
Wouldn't shock me. Well, I guess what would be more shocking at this point is that he's at least 18 and maybe no older than 19 as a freshman.
Yeah. I mean, we've definitely got both ends of the spectrum in this final field. I think we've got a couple seniors out there that are competing just as well with the young guys. So you got maybe Quinn 18, 19 on the low end, and you got a couple guys I think are 60, 65, and right out there plugging it with all the younger guys as well. You know, this I always say this pattern is very humbling, and at the same time it evens the playing field as well.
That looked like a good shot there from Robbie. He's got a spare to make. Get him in the two teens possibly. There is Jerry again, just continue to put him in the 1-3.
Yep.
Brett Miller over on 11 and 12, bottom right of your screen. One more puts him in the 170s. And again, he's someone who's making that slow climb up the leaderboard. Got to be so patient. It's the name of the game, I think, at the Bradley, man. Patience. Speaking of patience, all of a sudden, Brian Himmler's starting to get loose down there. Four-time PBA champion. The Chief is, he's got a game brewing. Talking about hometown favorites. What if you get Brian Himmler and Jeff Fair to make the top 8?
There's a lot of area guys here bowling. I mean, you've got Himmler and Fair and Al Runkle and Collier Pavey, and Chad Roberts is close, you know, to the area. Brady's still in there, right? Adler?
Yep.
Yep. So, I mean, you got a lot of great area talent bowling, and I think a couple of them that are either in the top 8 right now or right by it. That's a nice, steady, clean 217 for Jerry Mars.
His games today, 202, 223, 217.
Yep.
Yesterday, his low game in the last 9 games is 188.
That's not too bad.
198, 229, 200, 188, 232, 257. This was last night.
Yeah, I think what some people miss that may not have bowled on this before, you know, you can shoot a 180, and you know, if you're bowling regular house shot or something that's walled up, you're going backwards with 180. In this,
right,
you could very likely move up on a 180. It's not a bad game.
I think 185 is like a good par number as a player in this. Speaking of Al, you just say to carry, get a good break. Tony Harvey, I talked about him. He bowled well last night on this particular pair.
What did we end up having the cut to make it in this morning? It was minus.
It was minus 103.
So,
not include, you know, with the roll off, but
you could basically average 185 and make the cut.
Get you paid.
Yeah.
Which our loaded cash.
Yeah.
400.
Yep. That's a little bit different this year. We made a couple changes to the top and to the bottom. You know, a lot of anyone that's watching, or if they got any questions about that, my rule of thumb is I like to try and get to double or as close to it as possible. But this year we've got a lot of different entries as well, and entry fees.
You know, we were originally looking at paying 1 in 5. So there's 6 guys this morning at a lot of other tournaments that pay 1 in 5 that may not be going home with a check, but we wanted to make sure they're getting paid. I'm never going to invite people to bowl the next morning and not have them go home with something. I don't know if you'd mentioned before, I know we talked earlier, there's a lot of guys bowling this morning. I think it's 4 or 5 that won their spot in for 50, 60, 70 bucks.
Winning spots, right?
Winning spots, yeah. Yeah, and I think that's what I personally think I fell short on a little bit this year. I wish I would have got with a lot more of these guys that I know in different areas, different markets. Push it a little bit. You know, I know that still $295, even though we reduced the price from $360 last year. Try to make a proactive move backwards a little bit, reduce the price of the entry by about 20% of what it was before, to try and help out a little bit. There still are loads and loads of ways to get into this event specifically, significantly cheaper than paying the full price. So the winner spots, anyone that's hosted them, they can run them a variety of different ways, different games, different patterns. We never released the actual Bradley pattern, so it's kind of not going to be on exactly what it's on. But like I said, there's 4 or 5 guys bowling this morning that got in for as little as 50, 60, 70 bucks. And then there's probably 4 or 5 guys out there that we do an early bird in October typically. 30 spots, $195 an entry. It's $100 off, that are sitting here bowling this morning for $195, and that 400 is minimum of double their money.
How does one host or win a spot? What do you need to be able to do it?
Honestly, it's nothing. Just if someone wants to tell me that they want to host a win a spot, all I like to do is know when it is so that I can help promote it for them, put it on the page, put it on social media, remind people about it. And the only thing I ask is that the entry fee is sent to us, so it has the spot. I know sometimes in even events that I've ran in the past, 4 spots, I've paid the bowler, and then something comes up and the money's used for something else, and that's fine, and I understand that. But what we're trying to do is boost the amount of entries for the event. So anyone that wants to host a win a spot, they can host it when they like, whenever they like. Send me the info so I can help promote it, and send me the paid entry, and we'll get the person plugged in. They're paid and ready to go. They found a cheaper way in. Hopefully the facility that runs it makes a little bit of extra money, lineage, people, bowling, food and beverage, and everyone's winning.
Well, everyone's winning right now on 7 and 8.
Yeah.
There you go. With that break, it's going to be in the 2-0s. Jack Conrad, we've been talking about, Pikeville and its collegiate representation. Jack out of Purdue. And putting in work. One more puts him in the
30s.
230s, yeah. That one was right. He's been playing the old fallback. Deep inside.
Still 220s there.
And
then who's the bottom left?
That is who is that? Vince Govitt.
And that could be 240.
Let's see. You look at the standings of those individuals, right? Gothard 83 back.
240 is huge though. Shoot,
Yeah.
240, that could make up 80 pins easy.
Rago is 85 back, and then Jack Conrad is in the number currently in a tie for 5th place.
Well, he's not going backwards on that.
No. So Conrad today, 247, 200, 224.
Yeah. See if he gets this one right here.
Big swing possibly here if Vince can connect, at least on the first one.
No. Still, though, that's 220. Spare strike for 225.
Curious to see what bowling ball Jeff Fair. All right, still looks like an Equinox solid. How much is the early bird you talked about?
$195. I do it $100
$195.
off. Yeah. Yeah. Last year we had. Last year the price was $360. We actually did it for $250. So this year we changed the price. Like I said again, we took it down to $295. And then did the $100 discount still. And then the last 3 years we've tried like a Cyber Monday deal, which it was $50 off the entry. We had 16 entries this year for the Cyber Monday deal. But what I've done each year, and I've tried to promote it as much as I can, is if we get more than 20 paid entries for the Cyber Monday deal, I give 2 of those back for free. It's random. Everyone's put in a random name generator. This year that didn't happen. The year before it did, we had like 21. So I was able to give 2 entries back for completely free. That they came out, they bowled, they got their money back, and participated throughout the Bradley for free. So just trying different things.
All right, so we're moving into game 4. Ace Nutchwall in the booth. A couple of players who have started. There's one group that is finishing up down on 19 and 20. It's like Brady Adler is in the 10th frame. I don't know. That pair has been, I feel like, been eating up a couple of folks today so far.
And 21 and 22 is Jerry and Quinn starting down there.
So we just saw Tony and Brett. They're on your left. There's Blake, Nolan, Gene about to step up over there as well. Over on 11 and 12, Conrad, Grego, and we'll see Runkle, Pollard. Very important group here, especially with what Grego, Conrad, and Goddard just did on 7 and 8. So this looks like an interesting group to follow here. Let's look at Conrad's first shot. It's a good angle too. You can see where he's playing. This is the one tournament, not the one tournament, but you know, there's only so few of events like the Bradley where the lane condition puts you in a situation where you're not necessarily concerned about how the 10 pins went down.
No. No, I think if someone turned around and had 6 Brooklyns in a row, I don't think they're going to complain. And I think you're right with 7 and 8. Trevor Roberts just laid that first one down, and it was flush. So you've got Trevor, Himmler, and who else moved on to 7 and 8?
Leonard Cook.
Yep.
I'm sorry. Hold on. Yeah.
See if that pair stays hot over there.
I identified a couple of pairs. Like yesterday, I thought 9 and 10 had been solid, and then it didn't really matter if it was, you know, Friday on the house shot or, of course, yesterday. It just seemed like it was favorable for good players. Same thing with there was a point where 3 and 4 and or 5 and 6 seemed like it was good too. Coming up on the noon Eastern hour here at the Bradley. New venue. What's been the you know, kind of the tail of the tape, if you will? I heard you talking and just, as you always do, kind of talking to the players, getting a little bit of you know, feedback as a tournament director. And I heard a lot of players say either A, obviously just enjoyed being here, especially considering the venue and its importance. Some had never been here and or even to the city as well. So then you got you got some players to get something new or bowl in a new venue. I think James said he had been to Cincinnati this morning. So
that I was talking to James this morning, and he said he'd never been to Cincinnati ever. Enjoyed the experience. I think 99% of people have all responded with everything positive. Now, obviously, I haven't talked to everybody, and you know, someone may not have enjoyed something, but everyone that I've spoke to personally really enjoyed the experience. They've enjoyed the center. Dave Severs is the manager here at Western Bowl, and he's done a great job. There's a lot of work that's been put in, time, effort, tears, to take an iconic facility like this and put it back on the direction he wants to have it. You know, Strike and Spare invested money in the facility as well, whether it's the lanes, the scoring, the carpet, the aesthetics to the building. You know, this center is an ideal candidate to host pretty much any tournament that would want to be here. So I think they've done a lot of work for that, and the bowlers see it. You know, whether it's local guys again like Himmler or Collier or Jeff that are around the area, and they get to see the transformation bit by bit locally, to people that haven't bowled here before ever, like a James and a couple of other guys I know that it's their first trip to Cincinnati or their first trip to bowl at Western Bowl. Everything's been really positive. So, you know, the question for me is if we'll be back here next year. You know, and I respond the same way. If Dave would like to have me back, I'd love to give it another go. I think there's some things that we can improve for turnout purposes and see if we can dodge a couple of obstacles that have unexpectedly got in the way. You know, and those things will all go towards the event picking up, the participation picking up, the people bowling, and then that's obviously a ripple effect for everything else. More people is more prize fund, more people is more money for the center, you know, and for people coming in. But overall, I think everything's been great. Different experience for me as well, just sitting in the tournament director's chair and not being the GM running the center as well.
Oh yeah. Not that you had any less to do.
No,
but you weren't getting, you know, calls that you would also get from the bowling center aspect.
No, still a couple calls,
right.
You know, but having to direct people through it instead of physically being there and handling it. So
Super wash, almost. Gave that a run. Did Vince. I mentioned this earlier, but a very, very cool and intriguing story. Vince, originally from Orlando, ended up in the military. He's still active, he said.
yeah, he was telling he came to a qualifier at J-Town in Louisville. Fell just outside the spots, gave me a deposit, and he said, you know, was going to see if he could make it, but it was really close to time that he might be on duty. But it just worked out that he was able to be here. And, you know, that's another good story. You turn around and you take Vince here, and he came to a qualifier in a winning spot. Didn't win the spot, still got in, but he's here bowling in the cashers round on Sunday morning. So.
All right, so I'm going to ask you a lane pattern question. Now, we obviously know the answer.
Okay.
No one's ever going to know the pattern except the people who need to know it.
Yep.
Okay.
Yep.
When you do your scan, just to make sure it's right,
Correct.
what's actually happening right is correct.
All right, be good.
Thanks, sir.
Be good, my man.
Appreciate you, Paul. Nice job by Paul. I don't, you know.
Paul's great. Paul got on board this year and has been an absolute dream to work with. You know, he runs the Kings Royal Series in Louisville. It's on Sports Patterns all the time. He's probably averaging anywhere between 50 and 70 people. Built that back up, does a phenomenal job, pays out great money, and I think anyone from Cincinnati to Louisville to Nashville to Lexington, whatever's a 2-hour drive, yeah, if they haven't bowled it before, they should give it a try. He's doing everything that you want to see someone do for bowling tournaments.
I know some people are confused, like, wait, they were talking about oil patterns, and they said Paul.
Yeah.
But Paul was leaving, so
Paul
we
was
were
leaving.
saying
Paul
our
was leaving.
goodbyes to Paul.
So we'll go back to the pattern.
So when you do your scan, like as a tournament director, and obviously, again, without letting any secrets out, but what are the keys for you? Like just the mental keys to say, okay, that looks good, and you don't have to give exacts on length. I think people have guesstimations about what the lengths typically could be, especially if they bowled the tournament enough at this point. But it's the volume, obviously, that really that most people is the challenge.
Yeah, I mean, I think for me, most people have understood that it's, I normally get the question like, what's the pattern? And it's just something we don't release. It's just something that we do. I know for some people they understand and they love it, and then there's the other people that they do get a little frustrated. They want to know what to prepare for, and I get that. But we always tell them long and high volume, and you're right. The volume plays a big deal of how the pattern reacts and breaks down and what it does. For me, if we're testing a pattern, it's just seeing how the ball reacts and looking at it with different surfaces on it. And this is me looking at it. I don't throw the ball anywhere as good as any of these guys at all, but I have been able to see how the pattern works and what I would typically be looking for. So on a test kind of thing, I'll look for myself. When I come through, there's normally bowlers I look at. I think I said this to you yesterday. Daniel was in the booth with you yesterday, and he's bowled an absolute ton at this event. Mm-hmm. So when I walk through on a Saturday morning and Daniel's bowling A squad, and I turn around and I look at his reaction, and I get that little kind of nod or sideways look, then I know that it's got Daniel's seal of approval, and it looks like a normal Bradley pattern. Now this year, we weren't unfortunately able to see Daniel compete, but I use Jeff Fair as a barometer. He's bowled this event a ton and won it in the past and knows what he's looking at. So when I see Jeff let the ball go, and it's that kind of happy yet slightly confused look of how I'm going to attack this, it's a validation that we got it right. So I don't know if that answers a lot, but that's kind of how I look at it.
Rescue there from Jack. He kind of knew it too. I saw Art try to shoot I think it was a 248 last night. Mm-hmm. Very similar. And you could just, you're like, how do you shoot it, right? Because if you get it left, it's not there's nothing.
No.
There's nothing. So it almost might think shooting certain spares differently than you might normally shoot them at this tournament because of what's out there. Jeff Fair actually went through that on Friday. Yeah. No, Saturday morning, excuse me. He missed a couple of 2-pins. And, used plastic first, but it backed up.
Yeah.
Then he went to your thing. It too backed up. So he spent the rest of the squad basically trying to figure it out. Make sure he can figure out what the angles are going to be for him to make spares.
Yeah, I think it definitely makes you question a lot of stuff. Some of the spares that you think are like routine or just effortless is you're making yourself question what you're doing. So I think as much as the pattern that we just talked about is brutal and it's long and it's high volume and it's tough, I think mentally is probably more, to me, it's always more mental in this tournament, which it isn't a lot, but I think this one really makes you, I think you could really fry out pretty quick.
Oh, without doubt. I mean, there's plenty of opportunity for that.
Yeah.
And to be fair to everybody involved, obviously, what the tournament is about.
Yeah.
The other item of that is we saw a little bit of that like late last night, right? There's always that moment, the players know, not going to be this is not my year.
Yeah.
No, we got no chance. And just trying to fast forward the process a little bit. We got some updated scores and put those on the screen for you. There you go. Jerry Mars still rolling.
Trevor Roberts, that's a big jump.
Yeah.
Into fourth.
170, 211, 233. The slow climb. Chad Roberts, his low game so far of the day. but he built up enough cushion early to absorb that.
Yep.
Brady Adler, 160, 230, 160 for Brady, so he's on the roller coaster here this morning.
And Jeff has jumped in. He's gone from 9th to 7th.
And Jeff has had a very good day because he started in 15th, right? And so that's the context for Jeff. For Jack Conrad, by the way, who we were watching on 11 and 12, Conrad started in 16th place. He jumped to 5th in the first game and has not moved out of the top 8. Jeff was 15th to 8th after one game, dipped below the number game 2, back into the number in game 3.
Yeah.
And Josh Maslanich, another player from Pikeville, is minus 40, of course, so that's the number. Dawson Peterson, for the first time, is outside of the top 8, but he's 4 back. Darren Bloomquist had his low game. He's had a couple of 160s today, 9 back. Mike Moore, 26 back. The Chief, better watch out.
And Gothard as well. They both went 220 and up to 12th and 13th.
Brett Miller falls back to 14th, 53 back. Grego, 15. I talked about Grego's versatility. You know, he was opening the lanes up, obviously, on the house shot on Friday. But then during his qualifying squads yesterday, he had got left, used his ball speed to his advantage, was being very firm.
Yeah.
And now also, I didn't see him a ton yesterday, but I feel like he said he and Jack also crossed yesterday. And so I feel like obviously you got some lefties working together, so to speak, and so they're in the same zone. And so watching that versatility from him has been pretty cool to see as well.
And if people didn't watch last year, James turned around and did the same thing for last year.
Shot 299, right?
Yeah.
Last game?
Yeah. And that put him right into the top 8.
Where did he finish? You remember?
I think he got knocked out in the semis. I have to. I'm pretty sure he got knocked out by Eric Jones, but I'd have to check.
I keep forgetting that I also wasn't here. Last year.
Yeah. Yeah. There's a couple people here this morning that were in top 8 last year as well.
So Grego was one.
Grego was one. Chris Pollard was another. Trying to scan my way through here.
You got Nolan, there's Will, Tony Harvey, Runkle, Eugene Beats, Ben D. St. Jean, Collier.
I think Trevor made the top 8 last year.
Oh, that would make sense. I was telling Daniel, I was like, I remember watching Trevor. I just don't remember what year.
Yeah.
This Pollard won't get that 5.
Still a good game going there. Seven and 8 still being nice to Himmler over there.
Our astute colleague, Mr. Stewart, has said he believes Trevor also made it to the semifinals before being knocked out.
Yep.
And confirmed in the chat by Michael. Thank you, Michael.
I was saying your call for 7 and 8 is still being quite favorable to Chief over there.
Well, you know he's got a run left, man. You know, greats have runs.
Yeah.
It don't matter how many years you add on to the age. It doesn't matter what sport it is. Like, greats just got that item in their brain, that competitive.
Yeah.
Right. It's just, it never goes away. Right. It might be hibernating. Right. But in the moment, right, when the moment calls, he ain't his first time trying to run down a cut number.
Yeah.
To get to a show.
It's that clutch gene.
We might see it live and in person. I didn't get a chance to get his age, but I went to the old Googles, and it said he is eligible for the PBA 50. Does that sound true?
Who's that?
Chief.
I think so.
He's showing it too on the hard.
I can't see how they're doing way down there. I'm not sure what
Jerry
and Quinn are doing down there.
Yeah, that's where it gets a little tricky.
Yeah.
I see red circles for each.
Yeah, so do I.
That actually might be Jerry's first, assuming he didn't make that split, it might be his first open of the day. He's been clean. He was clean for sure in games 2 and 3.
That's crazy.
I saw them both.
3 games in, no opens. Yeah. Trevor's got a game there going as well. He's plugging. Strikes in 6, 7, 8. Going up on 8 for 4 in a row.
Uh-oh. You know, I didn't know much about Al Runkle, but again, you can just tell when players have been players for the majority of their lives. And I watched Al Runkle yesterday. I'm like, I know that dude won a ton. I know he did, and I know he has.
It's another cover for Chief. All clean through 8.
Yeah, that's he's got 157 in the 8th. It's Jeff Barrett to the right.
Yep.
This to me is fun. It's obviously fun, but I'm just speaking from the Cincinnati aspect of it now. When you have Jeff, Brian, other local players from the area, advancing to the top 8. Or I'm sorry, to the cashers round with opportunities to the top 8. 52 years old. We've got the exact age of Brian Himmler. He's out there giving a lesson or two. What a field. So I asked Daniel this yesterday. I'm going to ask you as well. Is this one of the youngest fields, or maybe the youngest field that you've seen in a little bit as a whole? Now, obviously, we do have, as you mentioned, some great senior players, Al Runkle, Brian Himmler, of course, but just with the collegiate aspect of things, man, this looked like a pretty youthful event.
I don't know. I'd really have to look at that. I agree. I think there's a lot of young guys in there as well. But I've seen Cam Crow bowl a couple times and get in there at the same time with Jalen Mosley and a couple of those other guys there. It's really going back and looking like Cam Doyle as well. There's been a lot of younger guys and some ladies make the cut Sunday morning. So it's a really interesting question. It's definitely a lot of younger guys out there bowling this morning, but I'd want to look back and see.
And I saw some cats that looked like they were still in high school, and that's what made me try to figure out how old Quinn was. And where, because he was wearing what looked like a high school jersey. And it said Lake Mineola, and I'm like, that sounds like a high school. And then the power of Google alerted me that he goes to Pikeville.
Yes.
Go back over to 7 and 8. Trevor Roberts with a 4-bagger. Bang.
5.
Well, we don't get many no-doubters at the Bradley, but that was a no-doubter.
Yeah.
Mr. Roberts. Feels like it's Mr. Roberts' neighborhood.
Yeah, one more puts him in the 230s there. Nope. Still 220.
And Chief can still get into the 220s. Even if he just fills the frame, he'll be in the 2 teens.
Yeah.
All right, let's go back next door real quick. And well, this pair was not kind, and for both lefties here, actually all 3 players.
Yeah.
For that matter, Vince was on a nice run, building some momentum. He hits 11 and 12, but it did get Josh Lewis during qualifying. This particular pair, 11 and 12. And now this is going to be Conrad's lowest game, and now he could give 50 pins back here, which in the moment would still keep him in the top 8 in the moment.
Well, that's going to matter a lot of what Himmler throws this next shot.
Might have
Because then he'd be in the 220s. You make up 70.
Might have a meeting coming up here with Chief.
Yeah.
There's a meeting. All right, let's see. So Himmler's going to be up on the left side of your screen momentarily.
That's 148 for Conrad.
Well, this is one of those, obviously, events. Nothing meant to be won and be serious about is going to be easy. Al Runkle now in the 2 teens. What a clutch shot that was.
Yeah. It's a good comeback from Chris Pollard as well after having 2 opens still to get that 2-0.
Pollard shoots 204. Himmler.
Nope.
It's okay.
Still 2-teen out.
He's going to be firmly in the mix with 2 games left. Now on the right side of the screen, Jeff Fair. This is his 10th frame shot. And he's made the big jump left. Oh, wow.
Oh.
That one kind of reminds me of game 1. He looked so good. Playing him out, the angle, pointing the gutter a little bit. And then fortunate 10th frame left the 2-4-8-10. Not quite a similar situation, not as many strikes here, but obviously you just want to finish the game clean. Collier, 185, similar situation. Seen a few opens in the 10th today from several players across the board.
That's 216 for Chief. So that's a 68 pin jump over Conrad.
Wow.
So by that math, that would put Chief in, and maybe, depending on who shot around him, Conrad could be out of the top 8.
Can happen quickly. I mentioned, it's hard to stay out of trouble. The goal is, trouble's going to find you at this tournament. It just is. And you just try to minimize it as best as you possibly can.
Damage control.
Great phrase. Someone who's done a lot of damage control for us this weekend is the director of the Hoinky Classic.
Yes.
Devin Stewart is now joining us. And Devin, well, first of all, Devin, I need you to get your microphone in the right position. All right. How you doing?
I'm well. This is one of my favorite days, whether I'm watching from afar or watching in person. Finals day at the Bradley Open is just, it is truly things to all people. It's one of the pinnacles of competitive bowling. So being privy to it, getting to watch technicians be great at their craft is it's pretty impressive.
Technicians, it's a nice, good way to describe some of these players that we're watching as they're finishing up on 3 and 4, and that will officially complete game number 4. Just from your perspective, as someone obviously who works at the Bowling Center and has been local for a few years, I saw nothing but positivity and excitement that this event is here, especially from not just the players but those who have dropped by to watch as fans. Have you seen the same things?
Absolutely. There's not much more glowing things I can say than that. I think the Bradley represents much of what is still good about the sport of bowling. I referenced it Friday night. I mentioned that it's still one of the great marvels, right? It's one of the great mysteries of our sport at a competitive level. So knowing that it is here, that we have been able to host, being able to participate, to help, and to watch some absolutely fine bowling this weekend has been, it's humbling. It's humbling. It's really neat. As a former competitor of sorts, it reminds you of all the mettle, all the skill, the hours of practice, the conversations with people in your trust, in your war chest, right? Your pro shop operator, your coaches, your peers, what it really takes to excel in an event like this. And just seeing the remaining 30 players, just it's really impressive. It's awe-striking, and it just adds to the enthusiasm, the excitement we have here in Cincinnati. Knowing that we at least have been privy to a great event. And Jason, we thank you for trusting us, with being able to host the Bradley Open this year. And,
Absolutely. I mean, I've had a great time. Like I said, I'd love to be back next year. I think that sometimes what some people that don't know competitive bowling don't understand is that this event draws in a lot of other stuff, and big events like this draw in a lot of other stuff. Like you said to me and what Dave said as well, there's been a lot of people that have visited Western this weekend that may not have been here for some time. There's a lot of people that may have never been here. Their experiences have all been positive. They may look to, maybe they bring a couple squads to the Hoinky for you, or maybe they just look to come back and bowl. Other events that you and Dave have talked about hosting for sweepers and tournaments and other things competitive for the local area or anyone in a decent drive time, they go, we had a great experience at the Bradley. We're going to come back and give it a try because our view and our experience of Western's all been great. And that's what you guys have been working tirelessly to do, is get the image to where you guys want it. For me, it looks like it's in a phenomenal direction, and any little part that we could play by the tournament being here and having the opportunity for us to host it here with you guys is great. So any side positivity or ripple effect from that is what bowling should be. It should be something that helps platform and build bowling in general. Like I said, I think that's sometimes what some people just don't understand properly, that are they're in bowling, they may be in the bowling business, but sometimes, even though my participation, I would have loved more people, of course, for all aspects, for the Bradley itself, for the singles, for the doubles. But you, myself, Dave have talked about ways that we can already look to increase those. But planting that seed and starting, it can have much better effects and growth moving forward. So really appreciate you guys hosting here. Same, I haven't mentioned this yet, Emil, all the sponsors as well. Your bowling consultant, which Devin plays a huge part in that, so I'm super ecstatic for the support. McCorvey's Bowling World with Alex and the team there, and they just stepped up and helped. QubicaAMF, Terry Rohr started that. I know there's a new rep in the area, but I always want to give a shout out to Terry for helping. Ron Hicklin with CTD, like everyone plays a part. We've had a couple of other sponsors looking to potentially get involved for next year, and those dollars all go towards the bowlers. I want them to go home with the best they can for all the hard work and effort they've put in. And by the time this is over, whoever ultimately ends up winning is going to be physically and mentally drained from the weekend. So if they can go home with a couple of those extra dollars that the sponsors put in, a nice trophy to put on their cabinet or shelf, and the knowledge that they just grounded out better than everyone else for the weekend, or had a couple good strokes of luck, they deserve all that stuff. So yeah, sponsors, House, Western, Strike and Spare, Devin, Dave, everyone that makes it work. Emil, you with the live stream, Justin in the back that pulls all the strings for me. Paul that jumped in this year, and Deanna is always a blessing to have as well. She came in and helped with scores and money and background stuff. Brandy, my wife, normally does a lot of that stuff, but we have a 4-year-old at home, and he's on a little bit of a delay learning, but he's doing really well catching up. So, you know, it's hard for her to run around with a 4-year-old and do all the scoring stuff in the background as well. So, you know, a lot of people give me the credit for the tournament, and really everyone else does all the hard work, and I get the pleasure of running my mouth to everybody and talking. So, you know, I've been told that that's an important part, but I don't know if it's as important as everything else.
Well, it certainly has its role.
For sure.
I mean, that's why I sit here for hours on end. That was well said. I appreciate both of you. And while that was happening, Trevor Roberts rolled a nice little 5. He's turned that into a 3-bagger, and we've got scores after the first
4?
Oh, wait. That's not the right one. See, that's why you don't get paid the big bucks, right?
Only when I move to lettuce and the fries. That's when I'll make the big bucks.
That's right. Well, you know what a good movie is about.
For sure.
Come on. Sure. Someone's playing a joke on me today. Or maybe I just I jumped the gun. That was me. I was excited to put these scores up on the screen, thinking that they were all up for 4. They're only up for 3. They are currently being entered for 4. So give me 2 seconds and I'll have that for you.
I'll be interested to see how Quinn and Jerry did down there, because they were out of our view.
Mm-hmm. So, important game here for Brian Himmler. Trevor Roberts is ascending. And again, now, great question, because I mentioned this earlier, but I wasn't sure. If you lead, there's no additional.
No.
Okay, so you just need to be in the top 8.
Yes.
All right, so that's what I was saying earlier. You don't have to lead. If you do lead, great. It just means you're the top seed for the bracket finals.
And that's a great question. Actually, in the past, we had done, we'd had a sponsor for high shift qualifiers. And again, that's proactively different things we're looking for. We've got multiple levels of different sponsorship that's available. Some are on the higher end, and we understand that it's a lot for companies to invest. And then there's smaller ones, and in the past we had one that paid for the high qualifier for A squad, B squad, Saturday night, and then the high qualifier Sunday morning. So it was a little bit of added. That's something that we would love to get back to next year. It's just, you know, finding out who that would work for, and if someone would be willing to do that. And it's just those little bit of extra dollars. You know, you're not. In some tournaments, you get in there and you lead an event and you're kind of guaranteed or locked to get into the next morning. But if you qualify and you lead A squad or B squad, you're not guaranteed to even make the cut the Sunday morning. So giving those guys a couple of extra dollars and money to take home would be, I'd love to see that back.
And
sorry,
also,
long way around answering that question.
No, that's a very good answer. Because that lets people know that there's still more opportunity to be involved with the tournament and not just bowling.
Yeah.
Of course. For the finals, and just remind my brain, because not being here for a year, one of my times were off. I forgot we had 6 games last night.
And you're a young guy. I mean, you'd expect me to forget that stuff being older.
I got 2 kids too. I got 2 kids who are 6 and 5 respectively. Finals. Are we reordering?
Yes.
Yes.
Yeah, we changed that a couple years ago. It used to be you would bowl on the burn, and I would be told I was cruel because the finals would move back to fresh. So you would burn and not be able to change your equipment or do anything. And then you would bowl the whole time, and then you would hit a brick wall bowling on fresh. So now it's fresh all the way through. The one thing that we didn't change is you can't change your surface, so you can change it while you going up to practice for the first round. But I believe we haven't changed it to where you can change surface at all after that, so you kind of play it through. We typically make sure to remind people of that. We've had people in the past, unfortunately, change a little bit of surface and weren't able to use that ball. So we try to keep it as tough as we can without making it any more brutal than it is.
In the booth with tournament director Jason Utchwall. Also in the booth, Devin Stewart. He's actually the director of the Hoinky Classic here at Western Bowl. So if you plan on bowling the Hoinky, then you will get a chance to meet Devin either this year, hopefully it's this year, but sometime soon. If you joined us late, today started with Jack Conrad and Jeff Fair making big moves from 16th and 15th respectively. And now both of those individuals are 7th and 8th. Jack was 16th. He moved to 5th. Jeff was 15th. He moved to 8th. This was after the first game. Jack is coming off his lowest game, unfortunately. It happened in game 4. We saw it, 148. That does drop him to 7th. He's still in the number, and Brian Himmler did not move around Conrad yet, but he did make up significant ground, of course.
And Jerry Mars literally just shot his lowest game in 10.
And he's still almost leading by, or he is leading still by more than 100 pins.
Yeah.
So not quite a check mark yet, but we can move closer to adding the check mark to Jerry Mars's name.
Well, 21 and 22 were not very polite to either Quinn or Jerry there. 168, 177, game 4.
I didn't see a lot of coolness every time I kind of turned my attention that way.
Yep.
It didn't matter who was bowling. I just didn't see a lot of X's down.
Well, now they've moved on to your favorite pair on 7 and 8 over there, and Jerry looks like he's back on track.
Devin, from your vantage point as someone who bowls competitively, we were talking a lot about equipment and different things on Friday. Watching this tournament unfold yesterday and obviously into today, if you could give advice on what to do, how to approach this Bradley pattern based on what you've seen, what would you say at this point?
Good question. So I would start by saying that there are commonalities year to year that are reflected in the tournament, and I think focusing on those commonalities garners a bit of insight. We know there's going to be volume. We know there's going to be length, right? And we know it's going to reward shot making. So first and foremost, get yourself in some big core pieces that are going to allow you versatility with surface, and also going to loosen up your swing a little bit. I don't think there's such thing as ever getting, I'll put it this way. On most patterns, there is always the propensity of getting cheated. At the Bradley, it is earned, right? So you want to put yourself in a position where both your arsenal and your shot making will earn you opportunities. You want that chance to be able to throw the shot you need to advance. With that being said, surface. Anything that resembles shiny at the moment is doomed to fail. However, those that have been pretty savvy with utilizing lower grits have looked pretty good. It looks like there are, at this point, 2 particular zones of play. If you can embrace those 2 zones of play right now, looking pretty good. Creating a little bit of a fallback from deep, or being able to get the ball to pick up a little bit earlier and kind of resemble the double hook that, dare I name drop, Nick Hoagland is famous for now in some of his patterns, right? A big deception, if you will, has taken place. And I say that very loosely, but it is a change in thinking nonetheless. We were kind of committed to the idea that patterns of a certain look, certain feel, certain body characteristics should be played one way. That is no longer the case, and with such strong pieces of equipment out there on the market, player development, right? Our athletes are stronger. Our athletes can get on the ball. They can create much more revolution than what we've seen in the past. There are multiple ways to attack, and so I think the fourth and maybe the most important tip is to remain open-minded, right? The pattern is the same, but the crosses aren't the same, right? Who you follow is not the same. where you are in the center is often not the same. Therefore, no two squads will truly be the same. And so I think a commitment to understanding what surface does to bowling ball motion, earliness and lateness of movement response. I think being able to find pieces that will keep your swing loose and comfortable and go with the flow, right? Go with transition to lane play. I think committing yourself to remaining open-minded and being able to make the shots. Those are the 4 things you need to succeed in this tournament. In any tournament, for that matter, but this one as notable as the others, for sure.
That's a quick scan. Go ahead.
I think if I can add a small part on that without giving over insight like I would give a roadmap for the tournament. My
Well,
dad told me when I was
you can't give the secret away.
my dad told me when I was younger, and it really plays I'd say an important thought process in this tournament. Every frame's a new game,
Absolutely.
right? So
Absolutely.
pair to pair, lane to even lane to lane, you're very likely to get something different here. And if you can't have a short-term memory in this tournament, and really that plays a part in a lot of tournaments, you should really focus on having a short-term memory, because just because you've thrown one bad shot here, which some of the greatest players I've seen bowl and come through here at this event have thrown a bad shot or more than one bad shot, you just have to forget it and go. So having that short-term memory, remembering that every frame's a new game, and taking advantage of good breaks, really can put you on a path to success.
Absolutely.
Good stuff from both of you. So the quick scan here. All right, so we mentioned Jerry's still in the lead, but Trevor Roberts
Is catching.
has moved into second.
Right. But Jerry's turned around and put his foot back on the gas on 7 and 8 and could go sheet for 230. Quinn was going pretty good. He just ran into a split there. Oh, Trevor with a break.
We'll take it.
So he is on for 250 out.
He's putting in work. Runs a ton of tournaments too, does Trevor.
Yes, absolutely.
In Florida. Mr. Tillman, let's go down quickly back down there. He's got the 6, 7, 10.
Got 2 there.
All right, so with 1 to go, Tillman gives 25 pins back. He's still good, but it's
Rolling backwards a little bit.
the fires have been turned on, right? The grill's been
Came there with a strike there. That was big.
I don't know what kind of grill you prefer, those who like charcoal or gas, but
And Mike Moore is
coals are starting to get a little warm.
Mike Moore's chasing there as well. Mike's a local bowler in Kentucky. Won a spot into the event. Great guy, bowled the event a lot, and he's plugging right there. I mean, another 200 right here will put him right at or just below the number, I think.
Yeah, Mike is
11?
Sure.
11. He's 47 back. Brian Himmler, 25 back.
Yep.
Dawson Peterson, who we've been watching, 2 is 19 back. So it's Peterson 9th, Himmler 10th.
And
They're
Moore
chasing,
11th.
Yeah, Moore 11th, and they're chasing Jeff Fair. Darren Bloomquist is only 50 back, too. All right, he's still got a chance, and I think Darren's on 9 and 10.
And in that little bit there, we missed Jerry throw another strike, so he's in the 220s.
Yeah, Jerry's 222 with spare.
So he's brushed off that 170 and back onto the 220s.
Again, can't count the chickens before they hatch, but closer and closer to putting down the check mark.
You know, I was scrolling on social media this morning, and I saw that someone close to Jerry mentioned that his success may be tied to the duck jersey. They're saying Team Rubber Duckies go, so it must be the Ducks.
Jerry has a lot of interesting jerseys. Like,
Yes.
Yeah. Here is that's Bloomquist there.
It's a good shot.
Still in the mix, but he says you got to get moving quickly. At 3 opens in a row, that kind of stopped that with the double. We'll check in on, well, let's watch Tad Roberts, who was 5th, respectively at minus 24. We'll watch this shot first.
This is actually a big shot for Chief here as well on 14.
Now we'll go back over. After the Greek Church striking the 7th, that's got to hook a ton.
Yeah.
who's going to keep their spot, who's going to maybe take a spot from someone else. That's where we are.
17 and 18, Conrad's making a little bit of a run as well.
We also can't forget about Josh Maslanich, who's also on 11 and 12. Maslanich, Peterson, and Moore on the same pair. They've been crossing all day together.
Yep.
And they are 6th, 9th, and 11th.
Strange and slightly related statistic. Every bowler I've ever met named Mike Muller has been very good.
I think that's probably good at anything. He almost made it.
Wow.
Wow.
That's a toughie there.
That was tough on both.
Peterson.
Himmler just threw his spare and left the 5-pin, took out the other 3. Can only go sheet out now for 189. Trevor's also on a split here.
Just to reiterate, the top 8, Jerry Morris, Trevor Roberts, Quinn Tillman, Brady Adler. Adler's also on 9 and 10. Chad Roberts, Josh Maslanich, Jack Conrad, Jeff Fair. That's
Conrad just threw.
Trip 4 for the turkey for Blomqvist. You know, I will say,
Conrad goes spare strike here for 2-0.
that'd be big. I will say, an interesting observation is that Trevor has done such a good job this weekend of managing makeables. I can about count on my hand the number of times that I have seen him split or open this weekend. Tough break there for Himmler.
Yeah, that's a brutal last 3 or 4 frames. You got a split in the 6, strike, barely missed spare, and now another split.
When you say, as we watch Mike here, when you say the manage and makeables again, what do you refer to in that sense?
Sure. Staying at or near the pocket, being able to leave makeables, being able to manage what the pocket looks like, even playing different zones of the lane, different areas of the lane. I think Trevor had a good deal of time watching James Grego this weekend, Jeff Fair this weekend. Those guys have done an excellent job of managing the pocket, keeping leaves manageable and makeable, and minimizing, if you will, punishment for mistake shots.
Went next door briefly to, let's see, Jeff Fair here. We also got a chance to see Collier. This is Fair in the 9th frame.
Nice shot, Jeffrey.
He needed that too. Missed a single pin in the 7th. Pacing in the 190s. Again, Maslanich. Josh Maslanich, he's got to be careful here. We talked about, obviously Dawson outside of the number, but Maslanich don't want to give many back. He will give some back at this point.
Like you said, though, this is an interesting pair, too. They're 6th, 9th, and 11th, I think you said?
6, 9, 11.
So if Josh here goes 180, everyone else can pick up pins around him, and then that takes that lead back a little bit going into a clutch 6 game. 6 games are always interesting for me for this event. It shows where the nerves start to creep in. Are you going to play aggressively how you have been, or are you going to have the same mindset that you have to keep yourself in the position you have, or do you start playing a little defensively, and trying to maintain your position? And for me, that's the ones that typically get themselves into trouble. You change your mentality, you change your approach, your look, and you try and hold on to what you have instead of pressing forward,
Nice 207 from Trevor Roberts. Mike Moore. 245, but he's still in a position to pick up sticks.
Yeah.
Just want to point out Darren Blomqvist here on lanes 9 and 10. He was within 50 of the number last time I checked, and we're looking at a 4-bagger he put together here going into the 9th frame. It is possible that he may string some shots here to work his way at least at or in after this game.
I think if Darren can get his deficit about to 25, I cut it in half with 1 to go. See what Perry he's going to finish on. They're going to go down to 17 and 18.
Chad Roberts there. Leaves them makeable. Chief gets one back. I think he probably needs both of these in the 10th and make sure that that term we used before, damage control, is helped out a little bit.
Yeah, and Bloomquist now in the position, obviously to gain pins, but he might move in front of Brian Himmler now.
Yep.
And possibly Mike Moore, but we've got 2 big frames left for Darren.
Yeah.
If good folks in Iowa are watching, I know I got a hello from the Ericksons. We're great people. You know, just from a food aspect, if I told you that there was a place on earth that made an Oktoberfest pizza, would you be interested in trying it?
Well, as I've mentioned before, I'm quite fluffy, so I would probably try about anything.
Well said.
Food is my friend.
Okay.
You know, I've talked about this like diet weight loss journey, and it always crashes and burns all the time. So, you know.
Well, I can tell you where to get it. You got to go to Waterloo, Iowa.
Waterloo.
Big shot there from Peterson. Yeah, they shout out to the other place. The OP is the restaurant. Great job with that pizza. I'm not a fan. Oh, but I'm a fan of that shot from Bloomquist though.
This is a big shot for Himmler as well. He's gone the
Great shot.
double in the 10th.
Save as many.
It's okay.
It's a huge double.
I mean, a lot of people would probably not be satisfied with a 165, but it's not. Again, looking at this event and how it scores and the pace, there are good 165s.
And to be fair, right, he's not excited about that.
No.
But understands the importance of that double.
Yes, absolutely.
Chad out of trouble, single pin next door. Peterson, Fair did get the first one in the 10th, by the way, so Jeff is moving closer to the 2 teens.
Yep, one more here.
Who's going to go first? It's Fair. Peterson still bottom left.
Ooh,
10 pin. And the 6-10 for Dawson. 1 game to go, ladies and gentlemen. Andy, look at Andy. I was hoping Andy was watching. I was really hoping April was listening. But it is my guy, Andy, who is the owner of said restaurant I was just talking about. So if you are in Waterloo, Iowa, you should check out the other place. It's across the street from Waterloo West High School. Specifically, if you go in October, they'll have that pizza for you. Not a big fan, me personally, but if you like Oktoberfest, it's for you. I did give it a run, though. But when they first brought it, I thought it was a joke. I was like, Andy, what are we doing here, bro? What? I'm from Chicago. We're talking about pizza.
Ooh,
We're talking
yeah.
about Oktoberfest.
There's some tough criteria there.
Yeah, right.
Yeah.
See, that always brings up a good question for me when you remind me you're from Chicago. Because I always get into this debate with Cam Crow, which I hope he listens at times. Because we talk about basketball.
Okay.
And I would think it's almost sacrilege for someone from Chicago to tell me that LeBron James is a better player than Michael Jordan.
Well,
But Cam tells me that all the time.
That's the only thing Cam and I, don't agree upon. Bloomquist.
Wow.
Good shot there.
That is clutch.
I saw him at the 11thframe.com open. Next door real quick is Mike Moore. You see his ball track, and he just
That's
struck.
a good shot.
So he just, he's gained some pins on.
Josh.
Was it Josh who was
Yeah.
A? Yeah, so he's gained pins on Maslanich, who was in the number.
But Bloomquist is chasing them all.
Correct.
So you've got 60, 90. He could go 20 out. 220 out.
Some good folks checking in. Appreciate y'all. Please subscribe to Bullstream TV if you haven't. At least hit that thumbs up for us. Because Darren Bloomquist putting in work in a game he had to have right side of your screen. Chasing.
Oh.
4 pin.
Still a good game, though. go 3 opens in a row and go out plus. I mean,
Yeah, he went 9 spare, split 8 out, 7-2, 7-1.
and that's still not a bad game for Mike Moore there either, in the 190s.
Absolutely. Situations like this really show you what players are made of, and I think we're really seeing a pretty solid glimpse into what our friend Darren here is trying to show us.
I mean, I think this pair though here, moving on 11 and 12, will be real interesting going into the last game. Again, you got someone 6th, 9th, 11th. They all moved up on Josh. Josh was in 6th. He gave up 13 pins to who was in 9th?
9th was
Dawson.
Dawson.
So he gave up 13 pins to Dawson, and he gave up 15 pins to Mike.
So, fortunately for us, that group on 11 and 12 is headed over to 19 and 20, which, no, it's been 21 and 22 that we said has been a little,
And,
it'd be a
and
little
23
shaky.
and 24 we can't see.
Maybe a little shaky.
And 23 and 24 will be a very interesting pair because that's Trevor Roberts and Brian Hemley.
Are we going down to 23? No, 20, 21, 22, right?
Sorry, 21, 22.
Okay. Yeah, that pair is interesting. Oh, my.
Look at that.
He might put his name on the check. Are you getting that break?
It's got to be the Ducks. It's got to be the Ducks.
It's got to be the Ducks. It's like Mike. It's
Jerry was telling me last night he was bowling in Michigan last week, and he was killing the pocket and just couldn't get any carry at all. Like everything was clean and didn't have any mismakeables and just couldn't get anything to carry. So bowling karma is caught up, and he's getting spares that way now.
Brady Adler, by the way, was finishing up on 9 and 10. He's in the 150s.
Yeah.
All right. Adler was 4th.
Oh, was that Chad Roberts with the 173? Did he gutter the last shot?
Oh, my. Oh, boy. This is
Those last 3 games have been a little bit tighter for Chad. 150, 190, 170.
as it always does. It gets interesting. Brady with 1 strike, and he just got it first shot of the 10th.
How many pins is Chad in by? Is he 4th or 5th?
He was 5th.
76. He's 40.
Give or take.
Well, he just lost that 40. He lost 39 of that to Blomqvist.
And he lost some to Mike Moore, too.
Yeah.
The race for 8th. Now in the final game.
Well, guys, I'm going to leave you guys for a little bit and hop off here and see where we're at with everything. But I will definitely drop back in.
All right, we'll see you in the finals. That is Jason Utchwall. He will get some items and dollar bills and whatnot prepared. But, all right, so here it is, Mr. Stewart.
Yes, sir.
We've got, you know, for a while, and I still believe that once we get Quinn's number, you know, I still feel very confident in Quintil.
As do I.
Feel very confident in Trevor Roberts at this point, and certainly Jerry Mars is all but in. Everybody else, though, is a question mark at this point. Brady Adler had his lowest game of the day just now. I think Chad's still solid. Like, I think his look is still decent enough where he can leave a makeup spin. All right.
Absolutely.
Mass Lanage, Jack Conrad, Jeff Fair. Jeff Fair's 215 or 210, excuse me. That's huge in that aspect. Dawson Peterson still going to be chasing. Darren Bloomquist, of course, just made up a gazillion pins.
Man, that was a great performance.
Bloomquist is going to be off camera. No, I beg your pardon. He's going to be on is going to be or is do we have a change? Yeah, he's going to be on 17 and 18. So we'll see Bloomquist. Now, next door to him is Mike Moore and Brian Himmler. You know, and Dawson Peterson for that matter. So all things and folks that he's chasing. Speaking of Darren, he's effectively chasing everybody.
Wow, so everybody's kind of grouped together there to see who is going to advance and to see who may be going home.
How you doing, Andrew?
Alrighty, we'll take a look here as Jerry Mars sets up his fourth frame. To this point, Mr. Mars has had a pretty good tournament. Is leading going into Game 6 of the Cashers round. Actually, Mars, speaking of, still a couple months into throwing some new bowling balls.
Who?
Jerry made the switch to SPI.
Oh, yeah, yeah.
And looks like he's been having some pretty good success learning the new shapes. And
How about that? Yeah, they got the turn of the year. All right, we got a special guest in the booth here for our final game, and he can shed a little bit more light on Pikeville.
Yes, sir.
Here, and it is Andrew Robitaille. And first of all, Andrew, nice job yesterday. Obviously, it's the Bradley.
Yeah, it started so good, and then it just kind of lost it, I guess. A little different picture, more people in the lanes. Definitely, I guess from my squad to the 100, definitely more competition. It was just, I felt like I did everything right. Did a couple things not so good, like my good shots got, it was either 610 or bucketed, and then my bad shots split. And it was, I talked with my friends, Quinn Tillman and Josh Meslanich, who are actually in top 8 right now, and they both told me I used the spinner too much, and I didn't use a hand sanding.
And you're talking about the actual spinner, like in the pro shop
Yeah.
Okay.
And I guess it makes sense now, but when you hand sand something, it gets deeper in the grooves, deeper in the cover stock, hooks a little earlier. And that's probably why I 5-7'd almost every shot. But for it being my first year here, pretty nice. I like this tournament a lot. Really shows people who want to grind and who's really mentally tough. Like Quinn's bowling with Jerry Mars, and I've been watching Quinn all day, and he's just even after like a 170, he's really good mentally. He's probably one of the mentally strong players I ever met. And then he's bowling with Jerry, and Jerry's just, he's got the berries. I don't know. He's doing his thing out there. It's really nice to see.
Mr. Linville, your teammate,
Yes, sir.
I was in the chat, and he told us that you guys spent some time actually practicing before you made the trip out.
Yeah.
And working on surfaces you just talked about, and playing the fallback and different things. So just tell me about the actual effort that went into the preparation for this tournament.
So back home, lucky enough, the women's coaches, Amber Griffin and Brianna Clemmer. Obviously, Clem is so knowledgeable, and she's bowled this a couple times. So the people who came, we all had a nice long conversation with her, and she personally helped me with some services because me being the only one-hander from the program that came here, she told me to hand sand some stuff, and that's why I went -1 yesterday. Basically because of her. I'll just thank her, and then kind of just forgot to do the exact same game plan, I guess you could say. It costed me, and then we did a little program tournament, little trios, and they put out the 2025 U.S. Open number 3, which was 52 feet, 32 mils, 1.2 to 1. And it was good preparation. And it was hard, obviously. Something like that's never going to be easy.
Right.
But it was good. And then we all made sure to have different services. So I know Josh Maslanich, he put 320 and then 220 over his Sherlock, 320 on his physics, and then 5s on the rest. And Quinn, actually, he's not the huge fan. He's not a big fan of surface. So he kept things actually relatively lane shined-ish, and he's just been
Interesting.
like probably highest service he probably went was 360. He didn't go anything like duller.
He didn't get crazy.
Yeah, he didn't actually.
He didn't get to 80
He's probably one that
or
could.
120.
He could probably use the stuff when we go back to Kentucky for crying out loud. I don't know.
Yeah, I mean,
Yep.
he might be the only. You're right.
But it was just obviously I had some stuff that I probably can't use till next year. I had to sandblast some stuff, but
Well, that's part of it.
Yeah,
Like when you bowl this
absolutely.
tournament, there are a lot of players who just have a bag for the Bradley. And
Yeah.
it only sees the daylight, every February. And now you might be in that category.
yeah, I had to take some stuff from the way back of the cubby and just all right. I haven't used this in a while. I don't plan on using it. Let's just take a good old 180 pad to it. That's kind of what I did, but some people, they're fortunate enough to get bowling balls like specifically drilled. Like I'm sure Trevor Roberts has some stuff. I know Josh drilled a few. But some people are fortunate, and with it being my first year, I just didn't really know what to expect. So I just kind of, I guess you could say, winged it and just.
Well, I thought you personally handled it pretty well, man.
I appreciate it.
This is not the easiest thing to just walk up and you show up. The fact that you guys even took the time to think about how you were going to prepare really says a lot about you as individuals and certainly you as a team.
Yeah. I mean, in Pikeville, we're always a family. We always have each other's backs. That's what I like it about there is that it doesn't matter if you're on the girls' team, guys' team, red-shirted, varsity, JV. We're all one. We all have each other's backs, and we'll all fight for each other. And that's the one thing that I think stands U-Pike from separate colleges. This year was an off year, but we had a brand new team. Last year we lost 6 out of 8 varsity players, one being, of course, Bryce Oliver. And then, obviously, expectations, we didn't have any, so we just kind of see where things go. And we didn't do too bad.
Well, your season's not over yet.
No, sir.
We still got sectionals, and that's where the dreams are really made.
Yeah, and then NAI Natties, hopefully we make that. It's in Michigan, I want to say.
Was it Lansing?
Yes,
Yeah.
it is Lansing.
And sectionals is, for us, it's in Chicago.
Okay.
I'll see you there.
It's exciting. Last time we were there, it was so cold. It's the coldest I've ever been.
We tend to have that effect on people.
It was like negative 11. Chicago's a cold place.
Where you're from?
Massachusetts.
It's cold.
Yeah, the wind chill is crazy in Chicago.
That's
though.
fair.
Wind chill is crazy.
That's very fair. That tracks, as the kids say. All right, so I'm going to put the scores on the screen for you folks as we watch essentially Quinn Tillman and Jerry Mars now. It's just getting to the finish line right now, playing mistake-free ball, if you will, and they are set to lock up a spot. All right, I'm going to get Quinn on the right side of the screen. There are the standings. Jerry Mars, Trevor Roberts. There's Quinn Tillman. Jack Conrad. Nice bounce back for Jack. Jeff Fair, that 204, not the 2-team, 204, but he moved up several spots.
Absolutely.
Chad Roberts falls to 6th. Maslanich now 7th. Adler is 8th. And Dawson Peterson is 9th, 3 back. You saw Darren Bloomquist, he's 11 back. Mike Moore, 29 back. Brian Himmler still got a good chance. He's 33 back. And James Grego over there, he's 68 back. Just got to keep an eye on him. Looks like he can get to 214. You know, would be in his obvious best interest to try to finish that game. Yeah. So we'll keep an eye on his score. And oh wait, hold on. This is I say that. Jack Conrad's got to be careful over there. He can max at 183.
It's not awful, but you never know now.
You don't want to leave it to chance.
I talked to Quinn before this game, and I told him, you're in third, you're 20 to 30 behind Trevor. He said, honestly, I don't really care about scores right now. I just really want to stay out of trouble. And that's about all you can do here at the Bradley is just keep it close, hopefully get 9, maybe catch a break or two, like that one on lane 11, kicked out to 510, and just kind of hope and pray. It's really all you can do here.
Absolutely.
Obviously, I didn't pray enough because I did not get any breaks.
Yeah, it's definitely a process-driven tournament.
Yeah.
The moment you start watching the scores is the moment you're dropping in the standings. And so it's imperative, just for even to those who are listening who have an interest in competing in future Bradley Open tournaments. This is not a tournament where you want to start looking at the scoreboard from the first shot. Your responsibility, your obligation is to just make as many quality shots as you can, manage your scores, make your spares.
Mental toughness is definitely probably #1 priority here.
Absolutely.
I would say. I think that's what, yeah, I'd say just mental toughness. You know, leave a baby split, leave a 4-pin, just be thankful you left that, and just hopefully just make your spares. I know that's what Dawson has done all day. He's been keeping it close. Jerry, obviously, Trevor, they're all doing really well, just keeping it close. And it's hard to, I guess for me, it was hard to move and trust the fact that, because now with everyone sandblasting stuff and it being game 6, the fronts might be a little toasty. So switching into a ball.
Got that right.
Getting over the fronts, maybe. I know that's what Josh is doing right now. And it can get a little nerve-wracking, get a little scary. But you just have to it's all about mental toughness.
So let me ask Andrew, as a player who competed this year in the field, and having some experience, bowling in collegiate competition.
Yes, sir.
Did you find that your moves were comparable to what you would see in a more difficult collegiate tournament? Or did you feel the moves were a bit more conservative? Did you feel you had, if you will, the freedom to make more radical adjustments with your feet and eyes? What did you see in relation?
So in college, college bowling is kind of simplified into, I would say, a urethane and then a solid, and then sometimes a jump left with a hybrid or pearl. Here, you probably don't get out of a solid piece till game 6, and your moves have to be parallel. Have to. There's no 2-0s, 3-1s, 3-2s, 4-3s. It's most likely 1-2, 2-2, 3-3, 4-5. It's just, that's how awful this is. Vocabulary was bad there. Not awful, challenging.
Yeah.
But you wouldn't be the first person to describe Bradley as awful. That's what it's supposed to be.
Not the first person said that today.
Yeah.
That's what it's supposed to be. It's supposed to be awful.
Everything has to just be close and parallel. And moving left to right, honestly, I'd probably move front to back first.
Okay.
But I didn't move more than a 2-2 all weekend. I always did a 1-1, 2-2. Talking to Quinn, he did his boards in halves. So he would do half of a board left, maybe throw a tad harder, maybe get a little around it. Because moving left to right is just, you never know. It could hydroplane at 20 feet and you hit the 6-pin. Or it could hook early and you hit only the 2-pin. It's all, and it's just trusting what you brought, trusting your mechanics, trusting your physical game. But it's just left to right is no bueno right now.
What I saw from you, Andrew, I think you started maybe 9, 10, or 11, 12. I don't know if it was last night or B squad. I can't remember. but you could tell you were doing everything correctly physically. You were
Yeah.
executing the shots.
Yeah.
And your ball would just not where you would anticipate your ball seeing the pattern.
Mm-hmm.
It just wouldn't see it. Like it just that same spot you make a subtle move. I could just see the frustration, right? Because I knew you weren't doing anything wrong.
No, I felt like, obviously talking to my friends, I felt like I did everything close.
Mm-hmm.
It just wasn't close enough, I suppose. And looking back, I could have hand sanded it. Obviously, I feel like Jerry is throwing his normal speed, and I could have been doing that. And I was just trying to be a little more forward, slower. And with it being slower, it uses energy faster. And that probably didn't help. So if I had to go back in time, I would obviously hand sand some stuff, get deeper in the grooves, and throw a little harder. Hopefully get that little 4, 5, 7 hits, because those are like a blessing right now.
All the difference in the world.
Yeah, Brooklyn hits. And with me being so forward and slow, I couldn't get those hits. But that's just the name of the game, It's just, I like the phrase, you either win or you learn. Sometimes it's hard when you don't win to be like, obviously, with me getting a little older, maturing a little bit, you look at money-wise, and it's obviously entry fees. They suck to look at, especially if you don't win. But it's just, you have to just try and be optimistic. And that's why I feel like the generations, they often compare themselves, and they're not optimistic about themselves. But it's just, the people that do good, they are in the alley so many times, like 5 days a week, 6 days a week, 7 days a week. It's all practice, and that's what I put in. Like, probably everyone in this building have put in so many hours, probably just this week, and just trying to find, I guess, a happy medium in this tough Bradley pattern.
Well, I'll tell you, the happiest person to find the happiest medium is Jerry Marks.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Who is just, he was in, but he just solidified it. And he's going to go into this thing as the top seed. The question is, who's going to be his first round opponent?
Yes.
That's going to be the question right now. Jerry's in. Quinn did enough in the first 7 frames of this game to alleviate himself from really any significant trouble.
Yes.
I think he's going to be in. Trevor Roberts is down on 21 and 22. Can't see a score from here, but he's fine as well.
I think it's like 190.
Can you see it?
I can't quite
From there?
see it.
180, 190, I think. I see 160 in the 9th with a spare.
Oh, you got that young eyesight. Okay.
I think.
He's got that 20-year-old eyesight.
21, I'm getting old.
Oh,
No, I'm just
okay.
kidding.
He's got that young adult eyesight. So Dawson Peterson is on 19 and 20. He just went through the nose. That's a 3-6. And for Brady Adler, my 8-10.
Yeah,
right
that's.
So Brady's the number, okay? So Peterson is chasing. Bloomquist 11 back chasing.
Bloomquist.
I'm sorry, 11 back.
And he has 2 9 misses, and those kill you score-wise, mentally-wise. But hopefully comes back. Big frame right here.
Josh is on that pair. So that Maslanich, Peterson, Moore pair, as we were saying, the most important one. Bloomquist won't get that break. Well, he did get a break, just leaving a single pin in that situation. It's okay, Quinn. I know it's not where you wanted to, not how you wanted to get to the finish line, but get 2 here.
Yeah, I'll have a talk with him later.
Get 2.
Solid effort here by Jeff Fair on 3 and 4. He's going to be in pretty safely.
What's is he? We got a final over there for Jeff?
Not just yet. Looks like he still has a fill shot to make.
Okay.
But it looks like he is in the high 100s here before the 10th populates.
All right, so we're gonna need Josh's score. Yeah, make sure Brian Himmler's not sneaking up on anybody either.
Josh with a good spare. I think he's 2-teen for Josh. That was very good. That might jump him up a couple more.
Looks like Fair got to at least 200 there on lane 3.
216 for Matt Slanich. That was huge.
Big
All
game.
right, we need the exact score for Jeff Fair.
I'm gonna run down and grab that.
Actually, let's see if the old phone might get me there. 203.
203.
So Jeff Fair, 203. Then, what do we say? So Dawson is done.
I think I want to say 170, 80.
Come on, animation.
Looks to be 167.
Oh yeah, that's 168.
Yeah. That's
Boy.
That's a tough one.
Yeah, Dawson. So Dawson's gonna be out. Bloomquist, there's still a chance.
Just got a text message from Bowling Legend.
Brady with a big strike here.
What a shot by
Like
Brady.
18.
Just
That's
got a
huge.
Text message here from Bowling Legend. Brian Valenta.
What's up, BV? He is watching. So here's what's shaping up. First of all, Mike Moore. Mike is. Let's see. What can Mike get to?
Chad with a good spare on 17. He's going to be big spare too.
Mike can get to 194 with a strike. Mike Moore. It's a number to keep in mind if he gets there. But what's happened here is it's basically Bloomquist versus Brady Adler.
Yeah, I would say so.
I gotta go double check.
They're both on the same pair, same pair with Chad, who's going to shoot a very nice, probably at least 180 or probably 190 that'll get him in. Darren with a 4-pin.
4-pin won't go, so 179. If he makes this and strikes, it's 170. If he makes it, puts himself in the 170s.
I think Brady strikes out for 183, I think.
He's got 193 left.
193.
If he doesn't get the first one in the 10th, he's not going to move in front, or I'm sorry, Bloomquist will move in front of Brady Adler. But very important spare, obviously, for Darren Bloomquist here.
I was just told to shout out Coach Clem, Coach Amber. I talked about you guys earlier. Couldn't get it done to get in the second cut, but
Well,
I'll be back.
You got to tell Coach Clem.
Yeah.
She knows the rules of broadcasting. Shout outs only go through me
Oh,
first.
sorry.
You can't
I'm
just
getting in
blurt out
trouble
a
now.
shout out in the key moment.
I apologize.
I'm just playing.
First day on the job, huh?
Right, rookie. It's okay. But you're doing great, though. You're doing great, by the way.
Big shot for Darren. Gets him to the 179. What did we say Brady needs?
Well, he was 3 pins. I'm sorry, 11 pins. I beg your pardon. I was thinking about Peterson being 3 back.
So
All right,
anything
so
less than 190.
Yeah, let me redo that math. So it's 11 pins. Really 12, realistically, is what Peterson or Brady. No, Dawson. No, good Lord. Darren.
Brian.
Darren needed to be 12 pins in front.
Brady with a big shot,
So
I'd
he's
say.
going to at least the first one here.
He's been throwing it great all weekend, too.
This is a huge shot.
What you
Biggest
got,
shot
BA?
of the day. Maybe.
Oh, the 9-10.
Looks like it's a bit too little too late there with the 9-10.
Well,
Very odd leave.
I'm going to go. Let me see. See if we can find. We need Brian Himmler's score just to make sure. All right, so I've got.
He was a bit back, but he could have had a big game. Could have snuck in there.
Let me see if I can make sure I got Himmler's score.
Brady shooting the 9-10.
Let's see if he gets 2 here.
Picks it
It's
up.
big conversion.
Makes things definitely interesting now. 173.
Max score would be 173.
That might
It may
Dawson with 168.
What a spare make.
So that might sneak him
Yeah,
into that.
I think he's good.
He may hold on.
Himmler shot 188. But since it wasn't that 3-pin difference, it was 11 pins. I
Yes.
think Brady is good. He needs good count, though.
I think that's enough.
plenty.
That's more than enough. Brady with a 173. I think he's the first spot in.
Wow. Talking about grinding your way.
With a 9-10 conversion, that is
It's pretty clutch.
that is very nice.
173 plus. So that gets him to unofficially at 2303. Icelandic got to 216. 2357. Dawson's 168. 2295. I didn't even write Darren's score down. What was it? 179? 179. Yep, 2298. Yep, those the 11 pins was, if it was 3 like Dawson, Darren would have bumped almost in front with the opportunity to make the if he had gotten the first one in the 10th. Now, of course, if Brady does not make that split, he would be out if it was Darren in that 9th spot and not Dawson. So, but with the spare, he's able to outlast Darren Bloomquist by 5 pins.
Wow.
That
5
is
pins.
That's quite a photo finish.
indeed. Especially for what? 26? No. Some like 20-ish games
Yeah.
to be the first in or first out. Brutal.
I'm gonna double check all the scores here. We'll stay on the air until we have the official top 8. 21-49. I didn't get what did chat shoot? Missed the score. It was on the screen.
It was. He definitely had a good game. He had 167 and then spare in the 9th. So it was definitely good enough, I'd say.
Yeah, I think he's good. I don't think Mike had enough. Himmler had 188. 2285. Man. How about the run from Brian Himmler? Pretty impressive stuff. 2274 for James Greco. The reason I wrote his score down, he did shoot 212, and just in case it got really iffy between Darren, Brady, and Josh, as well as Dawson, he could have snuck around all of them possibly. So it looks like it's going to be Jerry Mars, and maybe even in this order: Jerry Mars, Trevor Roberts, Quinn Tillman. Chad Roberts shot 204.
That's more than enough to keep him in cut, I'd say.
Oh, yeah, he's good. So Jerry, Trevor. I forgot what Quinn shot. Did he get up
Shot
to
160? Yeah, 170-ish, around there.
All right, so I can't say for sure without Quinn's total score. But Jackson,
What did you shoot?
Jack Conrad, by the way,
Yeah,
shot 169, and that got him to 23-33, but that was plenty for Jack. He was in a situation where he just needed to make a couple spares down the stretch.
Yeah. Quinn shot 169. Just asked him.
All right, so Quinn 169, 21.86. That's 23.55 for Quinn. Probably good for third. Jeff Fair looks like he might move into fourth. Conrad, actually no.
All right, Bowlers, your final result.
Well,
The cut
never mind.
for the top 8. 2303. Brady Adler is
Brady sneaks in there by 5 pins.
in 7th place. Jack Conrad, 2334. In 6th place, Chad Roberts, 2353.
Wow.
5th place, Quinn Tillman, 2355. In 4th place, Josh Mahanich, 2357. In 3rd place, Jeff Bear, 2364. In 2nd place, Trevor Roberts, 2409.
From 8th to
And
was
leading
that 13th is 30 pins.
Jerry Mars,
That is not a lot of pins between how many games we bowled.
for those that
Couple
did
missed
not advance
spares,
to the
couple
top
bad
8,
breaks.
if you want to come up to
I guess
the
that's
table
just
now,
how
you can
brutal
give
they get here at the
your
Bradley.
information, how you would like your payout. It'll top 8. We need 93 oil.
Oh, jeez. Oh, no.
Oh, wow.
That's not fair.
Hold on. What time? All right, so according to Jason, 2:15
Start time.
ish is the start time for the finals. 2:15 ish. I'll write that. 2:15 ish p.m. Is where the finals will start, give or take. With that said, what spare would you like to make or have to shoot at to make a cut? And would you choose the 9-10?
I'll probably be the last thing I could think of, but obviously probably be a single pin, 5-pin maybe, 4-pin, 6-pin.
So not the 9-10?
Oh,
Not
no
Brady,
way,
like
no
Brady
way.
Adler just did.
What a clutch spare by Brady. That's one you probably won't forget for a little bit, especially if he goes and wins it all. That'll be a spare he will not forget.
Yes, 2:15 p.m. ish Eastern Standard Time. What a nice day. So before we let you go, Andrew, now that the scores are final,
Yes, sir.
it looks like, as it always shakes out, you can go an entire tournament and not really be in a position to bowl a teammate. But now, after it's all said and done, Josh Maslanich and Quinn Tillman are going to bowl each other.
Yeah.
In the first round, they are now seeds 4 and 5.
Super unfortunate, I'd say.
Yeah. So what do we? What should the viewers expect just from that match alone?
Definitely a dogfight. Quinn has a really good look on Fresh every time, but Josh is stone cold. We call him a stone cold killer. He doesn't talk much, doesn't talk a lot of trash, he barely even speaks, but it's definitely gonna be a dogfight. And in my biased opinion, whoever wins that match wins it all.
I like that.
Except Mr. Jerry over here, led by 36. It's crazy. Jerry, what's your secret? What's your secret to getting the 5-7 out? No clue.
Literally just throwing it out the pocket.
It's all you can do, right?
Just making my spares. I only had one open today, so.
Only
I
one.
knew it. I knew it. That split I saw down there. That's crazy.
Yeah, there's like 410.
Very good.
I see.
Only led by 130.
By 130 don't matter now.
That is very true.
And that is correct, which brings me to my next point to close us out until the finals. So Marge is going to take on Brady Adler. And Brady didn't get out of the gate strong on the Fresh. He shot 169. We'll see what type of strategy, if their strategies will continue. We know pretty much what Jerry's going to do. And it worked last night. It worked this morning. And I anticipate him being in the same part of the lane, which is in the middle of the lane, slightly fallback-ish, and just trying to get, as you just said, like a 5-7 to go.
I think he
Catch a couple
sanded
doubles.
a phase 2 to like 500 and then threw a summit ascent that looked a little dull too. So it'll probably be his game plan.
Trevor Roberts is going to bowl Jack Conrad. Conrad, they got him for 170 here, but he's in. So Conrad, I still like his look. His look was really good on the Fresh too.
I think he's the only lefty too.
Yeah, that's interesting actually how that shaped out. There were a couple who had a chance, so he is the lone lefty. Jeff Fair, who started the day in 16th place, and started the day in 15th. Jack Conrad started his day in 16th. They both end up in the top 8. So Fair will take on Chad Roberts. What a matchup that is. 3 versus 6. And, of course, Pikeville versus Pikeville. Josh Maslanich versus Quinn Tillman. Andrew, before we let you go, appreciate you hanging out.
Thank
you. Any final thoughts from you?
To anyone listening, if you want to bowl this, please, please, please practice and don't sandblast bowling balls that you care about. That's kind of the only. Just think of like any long pattern, just double hardness, double oil, and that's the Bradley. super hard, super long, but if you can get it down, it's definitely rewarding. But definitely, if you want to try bowling the Bradley, definitely practice. Definitely find a certain arsenal, bowling balls you don't care about. Get some sandpaper from Home Depot and go to town.
Hey, Bill, I like that. I like those odds. Here it is, good people. So the finals in about actually a little less than an hour now. Jason Utchwald will be back in the booth as well, and then we'll work our way to crown a champion. We'll be able to capture at least 3 of the first 4 matches in the first round. Actually, Jerry's match, the 1 versus 8, will be the only match that will be off camera to start. But we'll obviously have eyes on it and tell you what's happening. And if a match gets done early, over on, I think we'll have one, what we got, 17, 18, 13, 14, 9, 10. If a match on 9, 10 gets done early, we'll flip that camera over to 5 and 6. Let me just triple check the format for the finals. Just want to make sure. I thought it was best 2 out of 3, but I'm going to make sure. And it is best 2 out of 3 across the board. Single elimination match play.
1 and done.
1 and done indeed, but it is best 2 out of 3. So you got to win 2 games. And I anticipate it wouldn't shock me if every one of these matches actually went 3 games.
Yeah.
In the first round, every single last one of them.
Definitely don't expect high scores unless your name is Jerry.
Jerry, 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 Jerry.
But I think the key to winning, obviously, key to making it this far, keeping it close, making spares, hopefully get 9, and just see where you go.
Do you are you going to be the ball rep for this 4 or 5 match?
I'll definitely be watching.
Are you neutral in the fight?
Oh, definitely, definitely.
Okay. Thank you, Andrew, for sharing some time. Big thanks to Jason Utchwald as well, obviously. Want to thank Devin Stewart, the director of the Hoinky Classic. And all of you, the viewers, if you haven't subscribed to Bullstream TV, please do so. Make sure you hit the thumbs up before this one ends. We've got the finals for you coming up next. I'm going to be very nice because I want to make sure you got what you need right now. Here's the link for the finals. And so go ahead and click that, have it open in the tab, and we'll see you back here in a little less than an hour. With that said, my name is Emil Williams Jr. We say so long. Thank you to, of course, Western Bowl Strike and Spare, the entire crew led by Dave Severs, the general manager, the entire tournament staff, Jason Utchwald, Jason Peaches, Paul, Deanna, and everybody else. Congratulations to the 8 that advanced, and shout out to Brady Adler making a 9-10 to advance to the top 8. His dream of winning $10,000 is still alive. Darren Bloomquist falls just short, 5 pins to be exact for Darren Bloomquist. He gets the first one in the 10th. I think it's a different situation, but obviously that is no longer the case. We got 8 individual players. 1 former champion is in the field. Jeff Fair's got a chance to win his 2nd Bradley Open title, first since 2009. Welcome back to Cincinnati, right? A lot of storylines. Come on back with us. We got it for you. This has been a presentation, The Cashier's Round. My name is Emil Williams Jr. We say so long for now. We will see you again in a little less than an hour. You watch The Cashier's Round live and only on Bullstream TV.